You done? You done?
Never. Yeah, you say the opening, I'll keep singing.
You're my ambient music. Okay, hello, welcome to... Please stop.
Welcome to Please Stop.
Please stop. The
Great.
podcast where we talk
should
about
just rename
frequent
it
stopping. Hello and welcome to Nameless Nerds, where we immediately contradict ourselves by introducing ourselves. Sitting across from me are the always nerdy regulars Lana, who can't stand the idea of me watching the first episode of One Punch Man without her, and Sophie, who needs an inhaler after binge-watching Jessica Jones. But in the devastating event that Callum has work, Rosie, who cried violently at the last episode of Doctor Who and is a frequent binge-watcher of Tomska, has taken his place. I am Douglas, as usual, and I'm feeling fairly outnumbered by the opposite sex.
Yes!
How is everyone?
Douglas's own personal harem! You're in a harem anime!
Congrats!
Congrats!
I don't know what that is.
Where one character is surrounded by everyone as the opposite gender, and the ones where the male is the star, it's normally always huge tits, small tits, always in the face.
Okay.
Well, there is one.
Okay,
It's my favorite fucking... It's new. I'm pretty sure there's only 3 chapters out, but it's my life as the main character in a harem anime, but I'm gay. It's really good. I'm just sitting waiting for the next episode. It's legit just a guy. He always girls just fall over him in the typical harem ones, but he's like, this does nothing for me. And this one girl's like, my cat had kittens. Do you want to come see it? And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm allergic to cats. And this guy walks in and he's like, oh, do you want to come see my cat? And the girl's about to go, sorry, he's allergic to cats. He's like, I would fucking love to. Because he's so gay. I love it.
Anyway, how is everyone?
We're wonderful. I'm tired.
Why are you
Very
tired?
I am tired because, as Douglas said, I watched the entire 13 episodes of Jessica Jones in 2 days, and last night I watched What We Do in the Shadows, Archer, and Doctor Who, and I'm very
All great
dead
loves
today.
of mine.
Yeah. I got Netflix, so I'm going to be more tired than I usually am.
What a terrible mistake. I just watch everything free online.
I did, but
Just watch everything free online.
I watched the first episode of Jessica Jones, and I was going to watch the second, and it wouldn't load, and I was like, no, load, and I'm like, screw it, I'll buy Netflix!
I have a question. Do you like it more than Daredevil?
Yes, I think I do, because it's the first sort of proper female superhero standalone thing, which I kind of love, but it went really dark really quickly, unlike Daredevil, which took a little bit of time, I think, to get into the really dark stuff.
So if you take away the whole female orientation thing, which I think is brilliant, it's amazing to actually have some female superheroes getting the spotlight. We're getting an Ant-Man and Wasp movie.
Yeah,
that's
we're
fantastic.
getting Captain Marvel, my favourite.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, no,
not the best one though.
Oh no, I love Carol Danvers. She's brilliant.
But there's. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Miss Marvel. Never mind. But I'd like a Miss Marvel Netflix TV show.
As in
please.
Camilla Khan, Miss Marvel.
Yeah, Camilla Khan, Miss Marvel.
That'd be brilliant.
Be wonderful.
Young Avengers would make it really good to Netflix. It'd be kind of a more feel-good one, but I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
And like I always say, Matt Fraction's Hawkeye would be brilliant. It'd be so funny.
Like I said in my rant about Marvel last week, Marvel should be branching off and doing different kinds of stuff. Yeah. Which brings me to the first thing I kind of want to talk about. Has everyone seen the Civil War trailer?
Yes!
No, not yet.
Oh.
I was gonna, I just saw you guys talking about it.
It will destroy you, it's wonderful.
I'm talking Yeah, I saw you guys talking about it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go click on this, but I was like, oh shit, I have to go see my boss today. Yeah, I had to go talk to my boss, so.
See, I watched it twice, then watched a bunch of YouTubers talk about it while I was getting ready.
To watch 7 times on repeat, it's quite pathetic.
So, I have some thoughts on this trailer. Some critical and some, yeah, it looks great. First of all, yes, you are allowed you can be critical about Marvel movies. You're allowed to be objective, Sophie.
No, you can't. No matter how bad Marvel movies get, I will always say they're good, because I'm an old whore for Marvel.
Sophie, I
keep coming back.
Okay. People who know me will know my favourite superhero is Batman.
Yeah.
It's really common, but he is amazing. He has the best stories, and I love him. But I can be really critical of that Batman vs Superman trailer. I love Doctor Who, but I get really critical of it, as Rosemary knows, because every week after a Doctor Who episode, I come in and I'm like, what did you think of Doctor Who this week? I'm like, didn't you hate how they did that thing? And
I hate the
Rosemary is not wrong with this.
sometimes I think to myself, why do I still watch Doctor Who? And I'm like, because if I don't, I'll feel just...
Empty.
I feel like I've let a bit of myself go, and that's not okay.
Mhm.
But, like, so the Civil War trailer, when I first watched it, when I put it on, I was like, oh, this is going to be like the next Avengers movie. And that was a mistake going in, because it's a lot kind of darker in tone than the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer was. And, like, while the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer is great, it did have some dark moments. Like, it had the Got No Strings on Me, which is wonderful.
Still creeps me out.
But this one is a lot more kind of, like, gritty, not crime drama, like spy thriller, like the last Captain America movie was.
Because it's the same people that directed it, the Russo brothers.
Yeah, the Russo brothers, and they are brilliant directors.
Yeah, they're
they
going to be
did
doing they're going to be doing Infinity Wars as well,
Yeah.
which I'm really happy about.
Because they did Community, Arrested Development, and that's how they got the job. I think they did Arrested Development anyway. But and when I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, so we're just doing the same thing for Captain America now. He's just going to be a spy thriller in every movie, and I kind of got a little annoyed by that, because I was like, oh, I thought Marvel was going to change it up a bit. But then I started looking at it more objectively, and then I realised they're doing like a character drama, and if they do that, then I think it will be brilliant. Like that scene where Tony Stark and Captain America are facing off. Captain America says, I'm sorry, I have to do this. He's my friend. And then Tony Stark replies, so was I.
Oh,
and it's just like, and he's got like, he's all bruised up and beaten. And then there's this scene at the end of the trailer, and it's so awesome because it's like Winter Soldier and Captain America are like just doing this combo takedown of Iron Man.
It's
so
amazing.
like Captain America hits him in the face with a shield, and Winter Soldier catches the shield and like hits Captain America with it, and then they like just weigh down on him, and you see like Iron Man trying to defend himself, and he like shoots a blast, and it's just nothing. It does nothing.
God.
It's just so wonderful.
So
it's like, and I'm like this, but I think I become overly critical because I'm watching Jessica Jones, and I'm like, this is like amazing filmmaking. It's noir, and it's
Netflix TV series. They have a very different vibe to the films and the
but
other
like,
TV series.
But like I was thinking at one point while I was watching Jessica Jones, I was like, should everything just be Netflix TV and Marvel? I mean, think about it, okay? Marvel does Infinity War, and it's awesome, but like, you know, most of your main Avengers kind of get kicked away. What if they just went into TV and did like their Marvel Netflix series and just built a universe around that? You'd have like 13 hours per character. And like, while I love my Marvel movies, I like the TV shows more.
I think
not including Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Fuck off.
That's something funny
You haven't
about Rosemary.
you haven't even watched any of the other ones. You haven't watched Agent Carter and stuff though.
I haven't watched Agent Carter. Agent Carter is brilliant.
It is.
I will watch Agent
brilliant.
Carter.
Like my mum has gotten to the point where she's like, for God's sake, Sophie, not more Marvel. I'm like trying to get her to watch Ant-Man, and she's like, I'm not in the mood for another Marvel at the moment. And I think I reposted the trailer for the second season of Agent Carter. My mum just came up to me and went, "You're right. I think I would like that." And I'm like, what did I say?
But like Agent Carter is an interesting thing because they're doing a different take on Marvel. They're doing it in like is it the 40s? Is it not after the Second World War?
It's after the Second World War.
Because it's after Captain America 1.
Captain America. They all think Captain America's dead, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But like that's a cool idea. And something interesting that happened, I was watching Jessica Jones and trying to keep some spoilers out of this because I know some of you guys might want to watch it because
it's only been out.
David
Well,
Tennant,
actually, by this time
wonderful.
it will have been over a week since it's been out. By the time we get this out, so.
But like, you know the bit where you see David Tennant's kind of origin.
Yes.
And you hear mention of Eric. My head totally went to Eric Lenchner, Magneto. And I was like, wouldn't that be cool? Then it's like, no, it's an English rugby player. And then I was like, wouldn't it be cool if it was Magneto? Like, they introduced Magneto by like doing something kind of
but
different.
they don't have the X-Men.
Magneto's wonderful.
They don't have the X-Men,
like,
though.
Wouldn't it be brilliant if they did their own version of Magneto? I would love that.
Be pretty awesome.
But yeah. Anyway.
Anywho.
Saying that, I did really enjoy the trailer.
You were gonna say something about Rosemary, and I realized we didn't let Rosemary like say hello or anything.
Yeah, Rosemary, introduce yourself.
It's okay, I'm just eating my biscuits.
I like when I was doing my little rant, I like turned to Rosemary. I was like, "Is Rosemary okay?" And she was just eating, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, nibbling away.
Okay. There's a joke. I had a dream, and I told our entire group about it. And in this dream, it was the apocalypse, and horrible things were happening. Heaps of us were dying, but Rosemary, she was just in a little cupboard, and it's like a bunker. Like, she was safe. She was just sitting in a little chair with like an indestructible window, eating a biscuit with some tea. And someone was like, "Rosemary, we've got to go." And she's like, "Yeah, that's a great idea. Go ahead." And she's just sarcastically like, "I'm not fucking dumb like you guys, just eating a biscuit." And then I asked her if she liked biscuits, and it was revealed that she does. And now we're all convinced she just sits at home alone eating biscuits. Like, eating biscuits. And here she is, eating biscuits.
Yeah.
Rosemary, would you like to introduce yourself in any ways?
Let her have a sip of tea first. She's kind of got like...
Hello.
Well,
that's Rosemary.
Well, thanks, Rosemary. I can help get to know Rosemary better.
Rosemary's going to start her own
I-
podcast.
Yeah, it's called Tea with Rosemary.
tea time with Rosemary.
But I can
Hello,
introduce us to Rosemary a bit more.
Yeah.
This is a
An
segment
interview.
I like to call Favourites
Good
with
segue.
Rosemary. It's done better. Oh yeah.
Great segue there.
It was brilliant. Hold on, I just need to write
It's
this.
a white
like
person writing it.
Like,
So,
I wonder if people can like hear me and Rosemary snick snacking in the background.
yeah,
boy.
probably.
You probably hear the
Like
little,
there's gonna come a point where I'm gonna run out of slush and all you'll hear is
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel very boring because like Sophie's got a slushie and like a little bag of sweets. Rosemary has got a cup of tea and like is that a bagel?
Mm-hmm.
And a bagel and like a little pick and mix, I think.
I'm like eating
And then-
a mountain full of
Yeah, and then Lana's got a cup of tea, which she spilled on the way down here.
Shut up. It's
A
fine.
slushie, a bourbon,
A bunch of bourbons.
2 bourbons, a couple
I
of
had 3
bourbons,
bourbons.
and what are
Tea
those things?
cake.
Tea cakes.
And then like I
And
ate.
she also had a cookie that she put in her pocket of a furry jumper,
ate
and I was
it.
like, oh, that's gross.
I ate it. And
Don't
then-
eat that.
And then I got a mix slush.
okay. So I have a few questions for Rosemary, and they're just your favourite things. So the first of the questions is
These
what is
are
your
a few of my favorite things.
exactly Lana? Thank you
Then
very
I
much.
don't feel
So bad.
What is your favourite pun of Callum's?
Oh, I think it's best just for timing. Wait, I can't think.
I'm like rattling off all of Callum's puns in my head
Yes,
right now. I'm like,
There's some great ones.
I
though.
have my own personal favorite
I
one.
have my
He has-
favorite as well.
Like, I couldn't say my favourite one because it's the really
Yeah,
offensive ones that I like.
I don't have a favourite because he's just like always saying them.
There's always a new
I
one.
can't
You're
think.
like,
Yeah, that's what I'm
good.
thinking.
I
Like, every
really-
time I'm like, that's my favourite. Then I'm like, wait a minute, that one was good.
I was really like impressed with the bee one though.
That's
That's
my
my
favorite.
favorite.
That's my
Yes.
favorite.
I was gonna say that. Then it's like,
I think we've explained
The bee one?
I
we'll
think we
explain
should
it
play
again.
Yeah, might as well.
So, Amber, who was meant to be here today.
I'll be Callum. I'll be Callum. You be Amber.
Okay. I got a That's. Sorry,
that's
Amber.
exactly Amber's
This
voice.
is what Amber sounds like. I got a P in psychology.
I got a wasp.
And,
They
like,
don't want
after
as well.
like a minute of like everyone just sitting there like contemplating it,
Yeah.
and they were just like.
It doesn't work without Callum and his kind of monotone, deep voice. It doesn't really work.
I got
Okay.
a wasp. I was like,
Okay.
Why is Callum Cockney? I got a
This
wasp.
next is gonna be impressions because that was
yeah,
so
like
amazing.
everyone just go around and like do impressions.
Okay, that will be next week, or we could even do it at the end. If you want.
Yeah.
Okay, this leading on from what we said
Go
earlier.
on.
What is your favourite biscuit?
Oh, I have to say just because there's tea cake, they're a tea cake.
Oh,
That's
and
my
leading
favourite.
on
That's my favorite.
That is
What
a
is
bit
your
lovely.
favourite
Okay, I'm just
They just
putting that out there.
I quite like strawberry and creams myself.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah. It's a tricky one.
A dream ring.
What's a dream?
That sounds
So
like
it's a
a
donut
sex
with the
move.
cream in it.
What?
That sounds like a sexual position.
Really, Douglas? Do you and your imaginary girlfriend
Have you
try
ever-
that out?
Oh, you know what? They came up to me and were like, Lana, do you know what the Kama Sutra is? And I was like, I really want to say no, but I was like, I do know what the Kama Sutra
Who
is.
said this to you?
It was like a bunch of people. It was like Paige, Brittany,
Why?
Liam, And who is, like, the other pervert of our class? I can't remember. I don't know, but, like, I'm notorious... I think it was Amber. I have no idea. But, like, Amber's quite classy. I don't think she would actually ask that. But they asked me, they were like, Lana, do you know what the Kama Sutra is? And I was like, I do. And they were like, do you know any of the positions? I was like, yes. Like, I was like, I'm so sorry. Forgive
Lana.
me.
Okay. What is your favourite tea?
Just normal.
PG tips?
Builder's tea.
Titly?
Oh, Tetley.
Since me and Lana are drinking it, what's
it.
your
You like
favourite
tea?
slush?
Oh, shut the fuck up,
For
Douglas.
3 weeks.
I know, I'm
You
sorry.
should know by now.
You're like the estranged father, and I'm the fun mom. You know, I'm like, shut the fuck up. She can do what she wants.
And when Callum's here, he's Douglas's gay lover.
I don't want Rosemary to be like, Rosemary's the abused wife of Douglas.
Oh.
Rosemary, go.
I like teared up. I was like almost tearing up when I saw Rosemary playing an abused person. So I was like, oh no, poor Rosemary.
So
like,
many
I feel like
people
if
were
I was
like,
abusing
so-
her, I'd be like cutting my wrists afterwards. I'd be like, pay for your sins.
It's gone to a dark place, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, that went downhill very fast.
It's
Slit
like-
your wrists for
what's
beating
your
women.
favourite
It's like you
Slush
come
puppy,
here
I'm
to
okay.
cheer yourself up. It's just made it so much worse.
It's like, have you seen that?
What's your favorite movie about beating women
Oh,
and
Douglas.
suicide?
Beat me.
Oh, God.
I like the what was Sleeping with the Enemy. Has anyone seen that movie?
No.
It's real good.
Okay.
It's real good. I think it's Julianne Moore. No, it's not Julianne Moore. That's wrong.
I was showing
It's
everyone
not
like
Ginger.
terrible movies
Oh, yeah.
on purpose,
We
like
were
from the
discussing bad
2002.
Christmas movies, weren't we, on the train?
Yeah.
Some awful.
Jingle all the way, jingle all the way, jingle all the way, jingle all the way, jingle all the way.
Jack Frost, where the dad turns into the snowman.
Nah, jingle all the way beats all.
Ugh.
Jingle all the way. Nothing
Okay.
beats
I
jingle all the way.
like Rise of the Guardians,
Jamie!
Very
Frozen.
good,
These
yeah.
are my favorite
These
Christmas
are not bad Christmas movies.
No, but the thing is, though, the
The
classic.
bad ones.
No, but Frozen and Rise of the Guardians, the classic Christmas movies, right?
They're not even
Frozen is set in the summer,
Yeah.
and Rise of the Guardians is set
Easter.
at Easter.
You know, it's a really good but really bad Christmas movie at the same time.
Yeah.
Batman Returns. Have you guys seen Batman
You guys
Returns?
watch that
Any
every
film.
holiday.
Nah, Batman Returns is just. What are you doing? Batman Returns is just. You can put it on mute and just watch it and like do anything else. Just watch it. You
Dub
don't have to
over it.
listen to it. Don't. And there's a weird part where like Michael Keaton, who's Batman, so if you watch the movies, Michael Keaton's obviously got eye makeup on underneath the Batman mask. And there's a bit where he rips off the bat. It's really weird because it looks like the Batman mask is really weird and plasticky because he rips it off and it just tears like a fruit roll up. And he tears it off and he's got no eye makeup on. So they've done this weird cut where like they rubbed off his eye makeup. So it's like, no, we can't have him having eye makeup. That's not really obvious that he had. And Penguin is all deformed and stuff. And like, so I wrote a list on the website I occasionally write on, freelance, not for paid or anything. I do it as like volunteer. But, so I wrote the top 10 movies the top 5 movies you should watch on October 31st. What have you done to your mug?
No, look at it.
Have you only just noticed it has to
Are you sure it's feet?
It's feet, yeah.
She has a mug with a nose sticking out of it
those
and
are
a
its
face
little
on it.
toes.
and
Are you
feet.
sure?
Those are toes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am sure.
What
Don't
else
ask.
would it be?
Oh god. Take a...
Deformed hands.
Okay. So the picture for this podcast will be a photograph of that mug. It's up to you to decide if it's feet or not. There we go. That's all.
Like, argue about it.
So it's like, is it a foot? Is it a weird beard?
It's like the mustache fell down. Like,
What mustaches have you seen?
decorative ones.
Oh god. Okay. Back on track now,
You spelled
guys.
that T so
Is
well.
your
Shut up,
favorite
Douglas.
sweet?
Me.
Just laugh.
I'm pretty sweet.
You really shouldn't have done favourites. I don't have favourite things.
Trust me, it only
Bad at
gets worse for
questions.
you, dear.
What is your
God.
most tastiest, enjoyable, edible one? When you can eat forever. I guess look at it.
For me, it'd be Percy Pigs.
Oh, Percy Pigs, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
go
do
in
not
for
like
that,
Persian
yeah.
pigs.
This is where it gets hard.
I don't know.
Film.
I can't answer that. I don't have
Ooh, TV.
Probably Doctor Who, just because it's the thing that I have watched for the longest
I'm gonna
and the
ask you some
most.
questions about
Yeah,
Doctor Who.
I discovered a few weeks ago, like, got back into Doctor Who, and I was watching it, and I was like, when I watched it with David Tennant, I had a sonic screwdriver, I had a canine, I had all the stuff, and then it kind of hit me, and I was like, Doctor Who was my first fandom.
Yeah.
I didn't even realise. It was like, that's something I was like, what? But since we've been talking, actually, about the Civil War trailer, what is your favourite trailer? Because sometimes you get really great trailers for really terrible films, but
I have a good answer for this.
Oh,
Prometheum.
I'll get yours in a minute, dear.
Prometheum.
You can go first and I'll think about
Alright.
mine.
Green Lantern had an awesome trailer.
It did, and
It's
it's
such
so-
a disappointing
Oh.
film. I was like, "Fuck, Green Lantern, yeah! Because I really love DC and I really love the Justice League, and Green Lantern is awesome. Like, in the comics, he's so great, and he mouths off to Batman. It's awesome. But, like,
It's
yeah.
great, but yeah.
But, yeah,
It was
Green
a
Lantern, that's my
disappointing
answer.
film.
Green
It was very
Lantern
disappointing.
or the last Star Wars. Because I can't them.
I have one. Last Airbender.
No, don't.
How
Don't
could
remember
this
it.
happen to me? I made my mistake. Like any
mistakes.
movie by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, I have a good one. Okay, so the first ever trailer for Star Wars, everyone should YouTube it. So like the original Star Wars from 1977, it's like so it opens up and it's a black screen and you see this little dot at the end. And it cuts to like Luke Skywalker, images of Luke Skywalker, and it's like, Luke Skywalker was just a farm boy. And you start seeing the dot coming closer, and it's like, but now he's gonna go on an epic adventure, and it keeps cutting back to what? It's out of date.
Your cheeking's out of date. Okay, continue.
But it keeps like panning in, and then it's just like, but now he's gonna go on an epic adventure, and then it just keeps panning it. It's so 70s, and then it ends with just the Star Wars logo, and it's like Star Wars, and that's it. I once just like binge watched all the Star Wars trailers.
Like once you guys watch Star Wars, I think that'll be my opening theme for you guys. I'll just start singing the Star Wars theme from now on.
We'll cry. We will actually cry.
Actually, Star Wars has really great trailers.
It does.
All of them, even the bad movies, like the Clone Wars, the animated movie, that had a great trailer. Like,
I thought you liked that movie.
no, I like the TV show. I like the 2 TV shows. They're great. They're so good. Like, Anna's just looking at me while she eats like really like a tea cake thing.
An out-of-date
You eat it the right way.
No, it is. It is.
That's the correct way
Yeah!
to do a cake.
Okay.
Flatten the
No,
sides.
it is.
Rosemary.
It is
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
Right, okay. Who rolls it and who flattens it out and
I
folds
flatten
it?
out and then
Yeah,
I
I
fold it,
flatten
yeah.
and fold.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we're talking about tea cake wrappers.
Like, any metal wrappers I get, I flatten them, then I fold them.
Yeah.
I don't like
I get
people
it
who
from my
bite.
dad though, because my dad does it, and like he does it when we're eating sweets with my family at like Christmas. And my granny will turn to him and she'll be like, "You look bloody mad." And my dad's just like, "No, it needs to happen."
This is a really sad, sort of cute, weird story, but my dad used to make these little things out of those sort of wrappers, and when he met my mum, he made that. And as far as I'm aware, when we moved house, my mum lost it.
Aw.
And she'd had it when we moved 2 years ago, so I would have been 15, 16, so we'd been married 16 years. So she had this thing for over 16 years, and I think she lost it. I don't know if she's found it again. It was really sad.
I don't understand people who like just straight up bite a tea cake.
Yeah.
Like I have to
that's-
bite off the
yeah.
chocolate and then lick off the foamy.
I do that with Jaffa cake.
No,
yeah.
I either eat it like you do, Lana, or I'll like
And
try
then
to
I'll
stick
eat
the
this.
whole
Welcome
thing in
to
my mouth
the-
at once.
Like unless
Welcome to the confectionery podcast.
Yay!
oh,
Okay.
I would fucking love that. I want to.
Yeah.
oh, let me tell you. So I'm a notoriously bad cook. Like I burnt a pan of water in HE, and I spent the rest of that last
That's
thing.
possible.
Yeah, it's possible for
Didn't even know
me.
you could burn water.
Like it's not supposed to be possible, but I did it, and my HE teacher made me scrub the pan with a fucking potato. I don't know why.
What?
Like I presume she was like really old, and I
Did
presume
she
she was
eat it afterwards?
she like cut a potato in half. She was like,
Tastes
scrub
a failure.
the pan with the potato, and I was like, what is this? So like everyone's writing up, and I'm just sitting at the sink like scrubbing up. I presume it was like an old wives' tale that like you could get like the burnt off with a potato, but like it didn't work. So, but anyway, last night I came home and I was like, I'm gonna make some delicious food for myself, and I got some spaghetti. I was gonna make like
Spaghetti.
imitation carbonara sauce with spaghetti kind of thing. So I got like spaghetti for a spaghetti bolognese, and I boiled water. I was gonna put just the spaghetti and then boil it, but then like my stepdad came and was like, "Lana, you're supposed to boil water before you put spaghetti," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I only know one way to prove spaghetti is cooked, and that is you throw it at a wall, and if it sticks and does not fall, then that is the spaghetti cooked. The other way is like you could cut it with your nail and like look, and if it sees dark bits in the middle, then it's not cooked. But like I'm just gonna throw it at the wall.
I just eat
Got this
it.
wonderful
I feel like
picture
so
in my head
much
of Lana
half
just like, "Are you cooked?" and like throwing it at the
That was
fucking
legit
wall.
me. That like I was also my mom got me like I'll fucking show it to you. It's like a chopsticks, but like you know a peg clip that you peg washing onto the line with. It's like that. It's like a tiny peg clip, and then like the chopsticks are the base, and I was just like, yeah, throwing noodles on the wall with these shitty chopsticks from Tesco's. I was like, and then I was like, need some sauce, so it goes in, and I was like, pour some milk into a pan, add some fucking corn thickener, some cheese. Turned out he added too much fucking corn thickener. It's just this, and I was like, oh no. So I kept mixing it, and eventually my mom came down. She was in a towel, and she was like getting milk for her coffee before she goes to bed. And I was like, Mom, help me. And she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, it's all lumpy. And she was like, just add milk, Lana. I was like, what? When do I add? And she was like stirring it. She was like, just add more milk, Lana. So I'm just pouring the milk in as my mom stirs it. She's like, there you go. And I was like, now to add some ham. She was like, the ham's not ours. So like we have tuna. And I was like, yeah, tuna. This is great. Tuna carbonara. What could go wrong? So I put it in with like the cheese sauce and with the tuna, and then put it on. The only good thing about that meal was the tuna. So I just felt like I was eating it, and like I felt like crying as I ate my own food. And then I was like just picking out the tuna. I was like, the only good thing here is legit something I just dumped from out of a can. I cannot cook, and I'm really upset.
I can half cook. Like, I can do some things really well, but I take, like, something that would take someone 10 minutes to cook takes me a good hour to cook.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a slow chef.
Everything I make just tastes horrible. Unless it's like instant noodles or like cheese pasta like that you instantly add.
My cousin does
But I
it.
make the best version of like simple foods.
My cousin does this thing whenever I'm over. He like he gets like those instant noodles, you know, the ones you get in like little packs, not ramen, but like, you know, the like weird packs, and you get like flavors with it.
Yeah.
He gets them, he throws out the flavor, he gets like a bottle of soy sauce and then like some chicken. He just puts it all in a bowl and like mixes it
That's
up.
the best thing
So
to do.
good.
It is the best
Soy
thing to
sauce
do.
is just amazing. It's the easiest
So
meal
good.
ever because you
Yeah.
just put hot water and then the noodles are done and just soy sauce. Oh, it's so
I always
good.
I just
like
started
something
whenever he
like-
makes it for me. I was like, I love it.
That is one of the few
Marry
things
me,
I
male
can cook.
cousin.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
anyways.
Back
It's legal
to
somewhere.
Rosemary.
Yeah.
So what is your favourite YouTuber?
Ooh. I'm
And
gonna
then
have to
there's,
go
like,
for
Dan Phil.
Dana's Not on Fire because he
Yeah.
was like the first one that I watched
Yeah.
and got me into YouTube, and
Okay.
he's just amazing. So
What's
I'll
your
watch it.
favourite Tom Ska video?
Ooh.
Either the cake one or the Valentine's one.
Yeah.
Where like everyone is like, I'm a lamp. It's like, what is this script? It's like, I
I quite like the
you.
Oreo
Valentine's.
one where they accidentally murder someone.
Oh, musical
I
murder.
love
Like dramatic suicide, that's what it was. And it was like,
Holy shit, cats.
Justin T.
There was one, I can't remember which video it was, but he literally just went in it and admitted I was really high and drunk when I wrote this
Holy shit,
script.
cats. It's like at the end he's
Was
just
it
like,
that one? He's
I
just,
must have been really drunk when I wrote this.
Oh.
So I just loved it because he was like, I'll admit I was high when I did this, or something like that. So I was like,
It was
okay.
great.
I also like the one where it's like, don't move. Well, I filled the room with tiny needles.
Oh, needles.
Yeah,
Needles.
needles.
Black hole or whatever it is.
Yeah,
What's
the
it called?
hole.
The hole, yeah. That,
It's like,
I
I'm
think.
more worried about the space octopus. What? No, my favourite at the moment is Stabbed. I'm just slightly in love with that. It's like, don't eat my sandwich. That's what this was about. It's brilliant. Anyway, your favourite Doctor Who episode?
Oh damn it! You stole one of my questions.
Edgy.
Why am I just...
There are over 800 Doctor Who episodes.
I know.
I'm just saying.
It's hard,
Yeah, I
isn't
do
it?
not have a favourite.
Okay,
Okay.
classic.
I can't
Do you watch any
Do you
classic?
mean I haven't watched all of them yet,
But have you watched
I'm
some?
planning on. Yeah.
Okay, well do New Who and then like, do you have any
Okay.
favourite classics?
New Who.
It sounds like its own show. Watch New Who.
That's
Does anyone else like watch
Who.
Talking Dead? It's on after Walking Dead. Next we're gonna have like, what is it? Casual Conversation Dead.
Yeah. Okay.
Clothing
Okay,
Dead.
favorite New Who. Or you could do it by Doctor. Favorite like Christopher Eccleston. Favorite David Tennant.
David Tennant is my favorite Doctor.
No, but like favorite
Yeah,
episode per
yeah.
Doctor.
Each.
I don't even know that.
David Tennant was my only Doctor.
I watched David Tennant and I've
I
gotten into
can't
Peter
think.
Capaldi.
Oh, it's like
My favourite episode would be the 50th anniversary one, I think.
Yeah, it did actually. It was good.
It was, like, I'd stopped watching Doctor Who by that point, but I was like, no, I have to go back and watch this. And then I kind of got back into it with Peter Capaldi. Yeah, it was the 50th. It was great. Okay.
Favorite, hold on. Christopher Eccleston.
I haven't seen any of those. I know, I need to
Get
watch
really
it.
angry at you when you
When
tell
you
me
I
that.
know.
only watched David Tennant.
Like, I didn't
Gets
know
me
Doctor
really
Who
upset.
existed.
Just
when
I didn't
people
know it
tell me-
existed till David
Okay.
Tennant, so I started, like, his second, third episode, and then I watched it, and then I I've watched, actually, I found out quite a few Matt Smith ones, but never, like, in order.
yeah,
I just kind
okay.
of, was at that age where stuff was suddenly happening. I had stuff on Saturdays. I didn't know what the iPlayer was.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
I was just like, oh well, I've stopped watching this. I guess I have to stop watching it. And then I was like, started watching it again. I'm like, why did I do that? It was so
I
dumb.
play
See, I was quite lucky because my dad watched Doctor Who when it was
Yeah.
in its Tom Baker era. So when it was
my
coming
mum
back,
was the same. Yeah.
he was like to me, "Oh well, there's like there's a show I used to watch when I was like your age, because I was like 8 at the time when it came back." And he was like, "So why don't so you can watch it with me if you want, or you can like head through to your room because I'm going to watch it."
Mhm.
And I think first episode I watched was the Christopher Eccleston one where he goes to the end of the world. I think it's like the
Yeah.
second of the New Who because
Mhm.
I didn't see the first one because I used to go to my dad's like weekend about.
Yeah.
So we watched that and I was like, this is amazing. It's like
Yeah.
there's time travel and aliens and like what the hell?
Yeah.
And there's like a northern person and he's wonderful. And I love Christopher Eccleston so
Yeah.
much. I was so disappointed by Thor: The Dark World because I was like, Christopher Eccleston, yes. And then he was in it and I was like, that was forgettable.
Aw.
But like favorite Christopher Eccleston is definitely Dalek.
Yeah.
You know, the one
Yeah.
where the Dalek comes back and you just see the anger
Yeah,
in his
it's
face because
just
he's like
pure-
so screwed
yeah.
up. David Tennant, Family of Blood, probably, with the scarecrows. Because
Oh,
that
no.
really showed how dark he
That
was.
was
That
really good.
was
Yeah.
At the
terrifying.
end when he like puts
That
them
was
like,
like our
See,
first
I was,
one that was okay.
yeah.
When I
or
was-
Girl in the Fireplace because it makes me
Ooh.
cry every time
When I
I watch
was,
it. I'm like,
I watched a couple episodes last night, and when I was looking through them, like, I saw the Weeping Angels ones, which genuinely is the most terrifying thing ever.
Weeping Angels
Like,
was
I'm-
my first one.
No, but I'm gonna
Oh my
go
God.
through and rewatch it, but I'm skipping anything with Weeping Angels because they're just terrifying.
I love
Yeah,
them.
they
But
are.
but when I was looking for episodes to watch, I was like, I'll not pick one that's too bad, just like a nice easy one. And I was going through them, and I was like, I forgot how much these actually terrified me as a child. Like, I hate being scared, and I was like, this was terrifying. This was terrifying. Why did I watch this?
I've stopped rewatching the Doctor Who episodes that I used to find scary because I find that I go back and watch them and I'm like, this isn't scary anymore. I'm like, this is still cool, but like, I'm not as scared of it.
Yeah.
Because I've kind of been desensitized by films like It Follows and The Babadook. And it's like,
Yeah.
But like, okay, Matt Smith,
He had the 50th anniversary one.
yeah, but I don't want to choose that. I feel like it's a cheat.
That's why I gave it to you.
No, it's too much of a cheat. Maybe Asylum of the Daleks. I really like that one.
You like Daleks, don't you?
I do like Daleks, but like
Yeah.
I liked Asylum of the Daleks because I thought it was a really cool idea.
Most dangerous thing in the world.
Wait, is that the one?
And walking
Wait,
trash
Actually,
can.
no. Let's Kill Hitler. That's my favorite Matt Smith
Wait, is it-
episode.
Oh, yes.
Amazing! It's
Yes.
so good. It just plays
That
with time
was
travel
River
so
and
much.
Mel. Yeah.
See
It's
the
wonderful.
Asylum of the Daleks one. Is that the one with her who
The
played
Asylum of the
Clara
Daleks.
was in it?
Yeah. The
Yeah,
first
I've
episode she
actually
was
seen that one.
introduced.
Yeah.
I've actually seen that one.
The first
Yeah.
episode she was introduced, and then they kill her off, and I'm like, wait, wasn't she meant to
Yeah,
be
I know.
the
That's what I
companion?
was thinking.
And then they
It's like, wait
explained
a
it.
minute.
And then Peter Capaldi.
I quite like the last one.
Yeah, the last one or the Robin
I
Hood
think-
one. I'm sorry, but there's not that many good.
I think the
Capaldi.
next
He's a
one
really
would be
good
really
doctor,
good.
but he's not.
It's the
being
fucking
written well.
glasses.
It's not that because it's.
I think the next one will be really, really good because it's him
Oh.
alone.
Yeah, because I think he will show like the darker side
Yeah.
of the
Whispers.
Doctor, which is pretty.
Yeah.
I can actually remember like all the because I'm not like you guys. I haven't seen all the Doctor Who, but I can remember the ones I did see, and it was like Leading Angels was definitely my first one.
Huh,
The
no.
one where, like, I can't remember which girl it was, but, like, she touched one of the Daleks and, like, it started becoming...
That's Dalek. That's the one I was talking about
that
from
one.
Christopher Eccleston.
And then there was, like, and the one with Rose where she, like, got stuck in the...
Doomsday.
It's all only, like...
Doomsday.
yeah.
Doomsday is ridiculously
we
good.
just blanked that out of our minds. That's why we didn't mention it. We just blanked it out.
Doomsday.
Rose Tyler.
Oh my
Oh. The one that really gets me is, like, I watched the end of the one where David Tennant's Doctor regenerates, and I just sat and cried just so much. I was just like,
Oh, God!
Actually, anyone with John Sim as the Master. I'm really sad we didn't see more John Sim as the Master.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I think he was really good.
Yeah.
I love Missy, don't get me wrong. I think
Yeah.
she's great as the Mistress, but I would have loved to see a little more John Sim. I would have loved to see Matt Smith's Doctor go up against the Master. It really annoys me whenever a Doctor doesn't meet the Master, because like Christopher Eccleston didn't get to meet the Master, which I thought would have been great. Just because he was
Those
only
two
in it
would
for
have
one
been like
season.
complete sass.
Yeah,
The pair of them together.
like just being rude to each other.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then, like, when Matt Smith didn't meet the Master, I was like, no, because Matt Smith is so bubbly and wonderful, and like, imagine him going up against the Master, like, it would just be so dark and weird. And like, but I guess he had River Song. River Song was kind of hitting, not really, but like, because I feel like they're trying to make Missy kind of the new River, like Dark River Song. And I'm like, don't do that.
No.
Just like I really like Missy, but like I really like River Song, and also bring back Captain Jack.
Yeah.
Why is this so hard? Bring back Captain Jack. Why didn't he meet Matt Smith? Bring back Captain Jack. It annoys me so much. I know that you were like, okay, he's face of Bo, but like.
I loved him. Though this is slightly off topic, but didn't you get the feeling with Jessica Jones that like Kilgrave, he's almost kind of like the Doctor, but just
Doctor.
terrifying version. Like, yeah, I could.
It's the
I could,
weird stalker
yeah.
Doctor.
It was quite weird. I watched it and I was like, wait, no. Ugh. Anyway.
Well, I think it's because he's using the same voice as well.
I know.
He's got that very hand. He licks her at one point, and I'm like, the Doctor licks things.
No. Yeah.
Me!
Like, there's one point
me!
because she has post-traumatic stress disorder, so she gets like little flickers of Kilgrave because his power is to like manipulate people and like they can do what he wants.
Yes.
He releases like a pheromone and it makes people do what he wants. And very much there's this one scene where she's just sitting by herself and then it just cuts to purple because in the comics he was called the Purple Man, so it's all like purple lighting.
Yeah.
And he just licks her face and you're like, oh.
That's the thing I would do. The thing I would do though, like I just come up and like lick your face.
But then he's
Pretty
like,
sure I have licked her face actually.
That really terrifies me.
Yeah, I'm quite sure I have.
Like that freaked me out in the the first trailer they did though for Jessica Jones.
I'm definitely like Sophie's
all
face.
that you heard in the background was just
Everybody's just like nodding like
and
yes.
that terrified me.
I am not sure if I like him more than I like Kingpin, but mostly because I have a like real childhood connection to Kingpin because I used to watch the 90s animated Spider-Man show, the Spider-Man show, and that's what the theme was, the Spider-Man show. But Kingpin was like a really prominent player. It's also why I love Mysterio, and I think they should bring Mysterio into the movies, and why I said he should be in the new Spider-Man movie in my pitch. But so I have a deep connection to Kingpin. So when they made him an actual brilliant character, I was like, oh, that's wonderful.
It's great.
Bring him into the movies.
Yeah. Anyway, back to my questioning for Rosemary.
We're just going on mad tangents.
Who is your favourite of your mortal enemies?
Favorite moral enemy?
Wait, like favorite to hate or favorite to like?
Like, everyone has a mortal enemy or some mortal enemies. Who's your favourite of them?
I only have one moral enemy and I fucking hate them. Fuck. It's called my sister. Like I have like a bunch of sisters, so like this one in particular sister. I'm moving out of my room with her. It's great. Get my room back. Hooray.
But anyway, mortal enemies. Who's your favourite?
I don't really know if I have.
Okay.
Well, like,
Oh.
If you got to
it's
choose a
sort of-
celebrity to be your mortal enemy, like the Master to your Doctor,
okay.
who would it be? See, now I'm
I
like,
really don't know about this question. I'm like,
Okay, we'll skip
We'll
to
skip
the
I have
that
a
one.
question. If
okay.
you were in like which movie verse would you like to be in? Or
Ooh.
movie or film verse? Okay,
Same
do a
thing.
movie and a film verse.
That's the same thing, isn't it?
No,
Yeah, movie.
because
It's
Movie.
already...
wait, no,
Do you
no,
mean
I meant
TV?
film. I meant TV. That's what I meant.
I was like, what are you
I
talking
just
about?
like
what am I-
that, but then you're
Sorry.
okay.
Just fictional universe. Let's just go with that because
Okay, so
that
it can be,
involves
like,
books
book
and
or-
stuff
okay.
like that.
Okay.
Because then you can do Hitchhiker's Guide.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is great.
Wonderful.
I want to be in
Yeah,
the
seriously.
cinematic universe.
That fucking baby thing though, like feed her to the baby, and I was like, what the fuck kind of baby is that? You never seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
I'm watching it tonight.
Oh, it's so good.
Read the books.
Yeah, the books are good.
The
Okay.
books are amazing.
Oh, my friend
Trilogy
Emily,
of, the
who
Trilogy
like
of 5.
you were wanting to meet, she was gonna come, but like she has an essay to write, so it was.
Yeah, I need to talk to her about.
She's got the really old book that's like falling to pieces, but she's like, oh, she loves it so much.
Oh,
Anyway, fictional
I
universe.
love Trilogy of 5.
It's really tricky.
Like, where would Douglas
yeah,
go?
okay.
Actually, I think
You
he'd be a
probably have
Batman
an
because he's
answer.
such a.
But I know I
You've
like.
probably thought about
I
this.
The problem is, this is the problem with like reading literally everything, like reading and watching and like listening to everything. I couldn't decide. I'd probably have a
That's what
mental
also
breakdown.
I'm like, I honestly can't choose between these.
Like, there's also a thing though. I saw a meme. I was like, yeah, I kind of get that. It's like Harry Potter fans want to go to Hogwarts. Lord of the Rings fans want to go to Shire. Game of Thrones fans do not want to go to Westeros
Yeah.
ever. Like, there's some
They're
universes.
amazing
You're
places,
just
but,
like, this is
yeah.
awesome, but I will die, so no, thank you.
You know what? I just.
I know.
What?
Avatar: The Last Airbender. Sorry, I love that. But no, wait, no, I don't want to because I feel like I'd not get powers. I feel like I wouldn't have any powers.
You'd be
I'd
an
I'd
equalist.
be Sokka.
Oh, you'd
I'd
be
be
Sokka.
Oh, wait.
Oh my god.
No, wait, if I can be the equalist, then. If I can be Anon.
Amon.
Amon. If I can be Amon, then that's fine. Because he can, like, take away bending.
I
It's
don't
awesome. He, like, fucking
I quite like Toph.
great. Toph.
Like
Toph
Toph
is great.
so
She can
cool.
metal bend.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
She's still alive in fucking Korra too. That's badass. Yeah, like she.
Spoilers!
No, it's fucking true. Like
I know her daughter's alive, but, like...
yeah, she has like daughters. Katara's alive, and like
I know
like,
Katara's
everyone's like thinks Toph is dead. Apparently, I think I don't know. I haven't watched it, but my friends
because
he
I
tells me
haven't-
everything.
I
But
haven't seen as far.
Well, you fucking should.
I've only
It's
finished
so
season
good.
2 of Korra,
Yeah,
and I'm
it's
waiting
so
on...
good. Go watch it.
Okay, on that... Avatar: The Last Airbender. Tangent. Okay, maybe not then. Rosemary, you think as well, because this is like, I
I
can't
know.
take this burden myself.
No, I honestly
I would
can't
have to
choose.
go in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because, as I've said before quite a lot today, I am just an old
Well, like
fool for Marvel.
what's a film that you like really like that is?
Wait, Star Wars.
So
Oh,
you fucking idiot! It's like you're like, why am I thinking so hard? It's like right there.
Because, I'm going to explain this, right?
You're gonna explain why.
I'm going to explain why I would go to the Star Wars universe. Because I can become a Jedi really easily.
Okay.
George Lucas totally screwed up the whole Jedi thing with the
Oh.
prequels because he said midichlorians are in the blood. I just need to have a blood transfusion with a Jedi. And then I'll get force powers.
It's like, I just need a transfusion. I get blood powers.
I just need to become like a Jedi vampire.
You know what I really fucking miss? Blade.
I miss Blade.
I
too.
fucking love Blade so much. I
they've
want
been,
it back.
They've been talking about bringing it back.
Oh, I fucking love Blade so much.
I think Wesley Snipes was in talks, but it's like he's kind of crazy now, so it's like
Doesn't
like he
matter.
jumped out a window and stuff. And like,
I would jump out the window.
I was Blade.
If I was Blade, I
I
would jump
was
out
Blade.
every window. No, but I fucking love it.
Yeah, Star Wars. Star Wars. 'Cause then I can definitely get powers, and if not, I can be a bounty hunter.
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I'll
but
be
I
your-
won't
I'll
die
help
as
you.
lamely. Won't get Boba Fett. Oh wait, no, Firefly.
Firefly is so good.
No, because you don't get lightsabers. And also, Firefly would be really dangerous. It's
Oh,
like the
that's
Game of
true.
Thrones thing. It's really cool, but it'd be really dangerous, and
Yeah.
you'd die almost instantly. Because it's like the Old West. but in
Serenity.
space.
Mm.
Yeah, like when
Serenity.
Wash just gets impaled. Spoilers.
It's old. They should have seen it already. Bunch of.
Okay.
Okay, Rosemary, what have you thought of?
This is really like frying my mind because there's so many like.
Hermione.
Would you meet the characters? Like, would
Like,
you
the
be
idea
in
is you
with
would meet
those
the-
characters,
Yeah.
or would you just go to the universe?
Bitch, you might.
Yeah, because
Sort
there's
of.
somewhere it'd just be kind of like.
Like, if you went to Hogwarts, you would probably
You'd
run
be
into
with Harry Potter.
You,
Well,
you
no,
might actually run
actually-
into them.
No, because
Okay.
they're not at the school anymore.
Well,
so
yeah.
you'd
You
have-
don't- like,
so
you
see-
meet
like,
Neville
if
because
you-
he teaches herbology.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, here's the problem though with Harry Potter. There'd be nothing like Harry doesn't go there anymore.
And
It would be a
so
school.
boring,
It would be a
just be-
school.
yeah, but
I would still
guys,
go.
it'd be a school where you learn magic.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's all
Like-
those hidey hole places. Like, you could start your own goddamn adventure.
You could.
But I love the
Or you
fact
could become a
though,
dark wizard.
like
and
all the
screw
kids
everything
there
up.
are just like
just become
they're like
the-
work, and it's like it's magic.
I would like to see a
It's not
Hufflepuff
normal.
as like the
might
Dark
go for
Wizard.
that because like
It would be quite fun. Like a
Very
really
good.
happy,
Harry
bubbly
Potter, there's,
person,
like,
but
no
they're like a
danger.
psycho.
Yeah.
it would just be
I thought
amazing
Andrew
to go to
Scott could do that
Hogwarts.
for
Yeah.
Even if
Moriarty
it's
from,
not.
But I love it because
Sherlock
the kids in the
TV
film did their
Oh,
actual
yeah.
homework.
Yeah, I
and
know.
tables
There's
and
a
stuff.
picture of it's either Fred or George, and they're like, "Oh, he's doing his homework," and it's like math. That's definitely maths because his face is just
He's just
like,
like, oh, I remember.
Oh, I
You
don't
see
know
him
why this is
progressing.
reminding me of this. I think, but this is a terrible thing. I think it's because it's like backstage photos, and I'm just remembering the horrifying backstage photo I saw of Teletubbies. They're bringing back the Teletubbies.
Yes!
oh my god.
Well,
We're
it's
making more
me.
Teletubbies.
They just brought back Thunderbirds and it was really Thunderbirds.
Oh.
They just I'm sorry, I belong to like
Okay,
so
I
many
can't
fandoms.
choose.
I'm
I
like,
can't choose.
Okay.
this.
Okay. So it can
They
be
brought back
real
Thunderbirds
or
and it's
fictional.
Mhm.
Your favorite non-human.
Me?
Wait, very quickly, the Lego Movie. That's my universe. That's my universe. I'm choosing it now. That's it. I'm done. There's every fandom.
Yeah, that's true.
I get to live in Legos.
You can live in Legos, he looks so
You're being controlled by a small child.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Everything is also. I can't believe like it was like the most seen film, but it didn't like win like. But there was two films that already won like huge awards, which was Princess Kaguya, the Tiny Princess from the Ghibli, and there was like an Irish made film like
Yeah,
The Song of the Sea.
Song of the Sea.
I
But
want
they
to
were
see
like,
that.
it's like they were both really good, but like no one went to see them because everyone went to see the fucking Lego
How
Movie.
good was the Lego Movie?
Anyway, it had a surprising twist.
I loved
ending.
the Lego Movie.
It was-
That's like one of the first films I took my girlfriend to see because I was like, because it was Valentine's Day, and I was like, oh, what am I going to go take Siobhan to see? Because I was like, she probably wants to see something romantic. And then my friend Emmy was like, oh, so you're going to go see the Lego Movie? And I was like, I'd like to, but I don't think Siobhan will like to. And then Siobhan was like, what? I want to
Lego-
see it! She
Lego
got
Movie.
really angry. She was like, no, I want to see the Lego. So I went and saw the Lego Movie, and I was like crying. I was like, because it was my childhood. I was like,
It's so good.
anyway, Rosemary, sorry.
Yeah, non-fiction.
Okay, so
Non-human character.
non-human, right? I'm just gonna bring this up because I don't think anyone here has seen it, but UK being human.
Douglas, what happened to like don't hit the table?
No, being human. I haven't watched all of it. I've seen like the first season, and I really want to go back
The
and watch
first
all of
season,
it.
yeah.
I've
It's
seen
like-
bits and bobs
It's
of
really
it.
good. It's
Okay.
great.
But you've just damaged
Yeah,
someone's
it's
ear.
really good.
Probably mine.
Being human.
Sorry if anyone's wearing earphones.
You are deaf
R.I.P.
now.
earphones.
They can't eat, like, if somebody was listening to this through earphones, they've gone deaf now, they haven't heard our apologies.
So wait, which is your favourite non-human? From
Okay.
I like how you went for the show called Being Human.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But I just had to bring it up because I was like, oh my god, okay. These are really hard questions, Sophie.
Well, I have a
I
question
know,
for
but
you,
I
Sophie.
can't
Like,
decide.
Sophie, does it count if that character was human, but like got a forced transplant, so their organs were no longer human? Do they count?
Forced
as a hu-
transplant, I thought
You know,
you were
when I
about
say
to-
non-human,
I like Douglas
this
in
could
the
be an
Star Wars
animal.
universe.
I'd just like to say, because I'm saying non-human, that doesn't mean someone who looks like a human that's not a human. It could be like an animal or something.
Okay.
Because I was making a reference to Tokyo Ghoul.
Of course you are.
My
Lana.
husband, oh.
Oh.
Do mutants count?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, no, they don't. No,
They're
because
not human.
They're
Yeah, they
far
are.
too
They are
many
people
to-
too.
no, it's a misconception that mutants are the next stage in human evolution. They're actually just like a subsidy of humans.
Yeah, but I'm not counting them in. Like, they have to be 100% human
Okay.
to not count in this. So mutants
So-
will count
Okay.
Okay.
and stuff.
I find that racist. No.
Racism. Check your privilege.
This is a metaphor for homophobia. Which is true.
Yeah, it's really heavily laid on in X-Men 2 when Iceman goes to his house and like his mum's just like, have you tried not being mutant? It's just like, oh, okay.
Yep.
But Bryan Singer is gay, I think. He's gay or he's bisexual. I
The
can't
whole
remember.
thing is like homophobia. Why are there no black
The whole
people?
thing with X-Men, though, is a kind of analogy for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's all meant to be an analogy for just minorities in general.
Yeah, I love
Because-
that.
Professor X and Magneto are often compared to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, respectively. Which is not the best comparison, but you know. Okay, whatevs.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's a bit of a stretch.
Rosie
I
Bosey.
still haven't decided.
Okay.
You're terrible at answering
I
questions.
can't decide. I don't do questions.
The
I should
next
have said this
question's probably not
before.
gonna be any
I
good.
can't decide anything.
The next question's probably not going to be any good either, but the next question was, who's your favourite human?
Okay.
Bypass that.
Right, I will go with Sherlock
Oh, that's
for
good.
that
Oh,
just because
yeah.
he's like amazing.
Are we
in
talking
any-
Robert Downey Jr., Sherlock, Benedict Cumberbatch, or anything
Benedict
else?
Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
But just yeah.
Douglas upset, but like fuck you, Douglas.
What?
You look kind of upset there.
No, I'm thinking like, yeah, I really like Sherlock.
I like
Yeah,
him
so
as
I'm gonna go
I
for
really
him.
love Sherlock.
Okay.
I was like thinking,
Human.
I started thinking like, oh, Sherlock's coming back at Christmas.
Yeah,
It's
I know,
nice.
that's what I was
I'm like going off into a little dreamy state. I'm like, oh, that'll be nice.
I liked Benedict Cumberbatch. I think he does a good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is your favourite celebrity?
Well, can that be dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Douglas, go cry.
Okay, and this is your final question, and the hardest one. You can't get away with not answering this.
Okay.
So, there's 3 of the podcasters here. There is one missing. Out of me, Douglas, Lana, and Callum, who is your favourite?
Oh, this
It's so obvious.
He
I
talks
took
to you
this
about
to
Doctor Who
bad
every
places.
week. He talks to you about Doctor Who every week.
I have touched Rosemary in places. 2 people have done.
I'm gonna
That's sexual.
fight Callum's corner here. He has the puns.
Yeah.
Like, Callum's my
We,
favourite.
we
feel
played a dating sim together, Rosemary.
We did.
We played a dating sim together.
I'm just here.
Can we bypass this question
No.
or do I
No,
have
you have to.
I just picked Callum. Then we're all
'Cause he's
offended.
not
It's
here.
not like
Yeah. So
Like,
then you
I
guys
don't think anyone minds being beaten by Callum,
Like,
though.
yeah,
We're all
I
just
would.
kind of
I think,
accept
yeah.
We
it
just
now.
accept
We'll all
Callum's
just go for Callum.
Callum.
Okay, I have a question.
What? Why are you such a
Leaving
loser?
out David Tennant,
Mhm.
who's your favourite Doctor?
Is this including, or is this just
All
new
of
view? Okay.
All of them.
You throw threatening at the same time while smiling at her. You're like, I'm gonna kill you in my eyes if you answer someone I don't like.
Answer Colin Baker, I fucking dare you.
Yes.
What if it was actually like? Might be. I don't know.
Just because I
I've not met
haven't
any
watched
fun.
most of the classical ones, I can't say that I've grown any like attachment to them. So I'm gonna have to go with David Tennant because he was a right mix between serious and happy, and yeah, he was just quite a good. I'm gonna go for him.
Okay, barring David Tennant then.
Oh,
'Cause
oh
everyone
yeah,
picks
you
David
said
Tennant.
yeah, I know.
That's like what all my friends, whenever like
Steve
anyone
Smith.
asks like, just bar David
Everyone is
Tennant.
okay with David Tennant. Like he might not be your favorite, but like you can respect him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
everyone loves it. Even the classic Who fans who like hate New Who and
Yeah.
like the crap, but they're like, yeah, we like David Tennant.
I think it's kind of an undisputed thing that David Tennant is one of the best.
Well, he's probably
Yeah.
the most iconic now.
Yeah.
Bar maybe Tom Baker.
What does he even do
Yeah,
when
some
he's
people
not
don't
Doctor?
even know that it's moved on from David Tennant.
Yeah.
It's still like, no, David Tennant's the Doctor.
It's like if people dress up as Doctor, they either go, is it the one that you were saying with the scarf?
Tom
Oh,
Baker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tom
that's-
Baker, I thought I was
yeah.
saying. It's either him or kind of David Tennant that people do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
no.
they are the most iconic.
I know.
They've
I
got
like
because it's
Sylvester
got.
McCoy. Everyone knows him. Everyone
Yes,
knows-
actually, I
he's
think
he's like your
I
granddad.
think
You
he's
just
my
want to
mum's
cuddle him.
favourite.
He's
because
wonderful.
he was
He's so good. Everyone should go and watch.
I know. I haven't watched enough of them to decide though.
There's a
So-
Sylvester McCoy story. I can't remember what the name of it was, but he had this companion who's kind of iconic, like kind of infamous to Doctor Who fandom, called Ace.
Mhm.
And it was this really good episode, and it was set during World War II, I think. And you find out at the end of the episode that Ace was born during the episode. So now she's met the baby version of herself. It's a really good episode, and it's all about like, you know, Alan Turing, the guy who the Imitation
Yeah.
Game.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Alan Turing was a scientist who pretty much helped win the war. He cracked a Nazi code, and he was arrested and persecuted because he was gay, and he ended up killing himself by taking a bite out of a cyanide apple, and that's why Apple has
Isn't that a
the
movie?
the Imitation Game. That's why Apple actually has
I
the
didn't know
logo
that part,
of the
actually.
Yeah.
bitten out apple.
Oh, okay.
That's why it used to be a rainbow apple with the bite taken out of it. It was in tribute to Alan Turing. And the episode has a allegory for Alan Turing in the form of a disabled person who's like a very clever doctor, and like he's kind of persecuted because he's crippled. It's a very good episode, and Sylvester McCoy is wonderful.
That's good.
He was also the best part of the Hobbit movies. Like whenever I was like watching the Hobbit movies, and I was like, I hate myself.
wish
right
there was
now.
more
And then,
dragon.
Like, Sylvester McCoy comes on and I'm like,
Like, they made such a big deal of the dragon. I wish they had more dragon. Like, you make a huge deal about this huge fucking dragon. You know what are you gonna do about it?
Oh,
People fucking love dragons.
I also hated the action scene at the end of Desolation of Smaug. You know, with the dwarfs running around, because it doesn't happen in the book. The whole point of that scene is meant to be like this really quiet, like, conversation before the battle of the five armies. And Peter Jackson's like, no, we need a fight scene. Remember when my movies weren't all CGI? Me neither.
Everything is fucking all the
Why
enemies.
why does everything in The Hobbit have to be CGI? I would have liked The Hobbit like 10 times more if it had
CGI
been like
is
Lord of the Rings.
used because it's like easier to move around, and it's like so it's like cheaper as well. So
Yeah,
it
but
takes
like
them-
it looks crap.
It does.
It looks so crap.
it is
I
used a
don't
lot in my
believe-
Japanese
like,
animes.
There's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes CGI, which is like beautiful, and you're like, looks real. And then there's like the Hobbit CGI, where you're like, that is not a real thing. There's no weight to that. Like that is not a real person in that environment. Like the orcs look so bad. Like when I was watching, I was like, oh, those orcs just took me right out of the film. Like in the original, the orcs are terrifying.
Yeah.
Like they really scared me when I was younger. Like they're all makeup. And they
Oh,
just
I love
look-
that
they
scene
look
where
so
like
gross.
the leader one just bursts out.
Oh yeah,
coming
when
out
they're
covered
making
in,
like the
yeah, they're
Urkai.
making the orcs.
Urkai?
Yeah,
I think
like
that's-
the
And you just like
hybrid things.
and
yeah,
it's
and
like
it comes out and it's like
weird and like placenta
and like rips
it's like,
it off
it's
and it's
great.
like
It's so wonderful. Anyway,
Do you know what?
So is this still
What?
favourite Doctor?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how we got on. Oh yeah, because we were talking about the Hobbit.
Yeah.
The Hobbit tangent.
Just because I haven't watched enough of the classical ones, I'll have to go for Matt Smith then.
That's fair.
But I actually, not a lot of people really liked him, but I really enjoyed him.
Was he the one with the
He's
fedora?
so
Him, I
happy.
Was he the
liked him.
fedora one?
Yeah.
I think I
He's like
Like,
the
I
one
don't
that
watch
bow ties
Doctor
are cool,
Who.
feathers are cool, and everything, and he's just like, oh,
See,
I
I
felt
really
I felt
I
really
liked
bad
him.
because I was one of the like David Tennant like
The ones that
Master
were
Race. Like, you know, when Matt Smith got cast, I was like, David Tennant, Master Race. I was like, no one can replace him. Then when he came, when his first episode was on, I sat down with my dad and I was like, let's see how he does. I sat in the episode end and I was like, that was good.
Yeah.
Like,
really
I'm
good.
sorry.
Obviously, I haven't seen much of Matt Smith,
Liked
but
it.
what I've seen of him, I liked him. He's
really
quite
good.
good. Because I've seen the first episode of his, and I've seen a couple other ones. And
I thought it was a good
And they did-
transition because like you would need
Yeah.
something to stand out
That's-
after.
uh-huh.
His introduction
That's
is really
what I
good as
thought.
well.
Yeah.
He's like, legs, still got legs. And then like, it just runs
Yeah,
away.
that's
Still
because
not
after
ginger.
like what you went through with David Tennant when it ended in like tears, then it
It's
was
like-
And then
this
Matt Smith
bubbly
came
guy
in,
just
like
pops up.
bursting in like, hey.
Also, how sad was his ending? Oh, just when he sees Amy,
I
and
know.
like she walks
I
up and she's
actually
like,
thought-
"Ramsey man, goodbye,"
Yeah.
and then it's just like, and then it just transforms. Oh,
I did think all the
Wait.
stories actually with Matt Smith were quite good.
yeah,
Most of them were
I
pretty. There were some
I-
that you were like, okay,
yeah,
story writers, what are you doing here? But in others, I was like, this is, I'm getting into this.
I feel,
I haven't seen Matt
I feel
Smith's ending,
on-
actually.
I feel on looking
Maybe
back,
I'll
I'm like,
watch
that's
that,
cool, but like when I first watched some of them, I was like,
Yeah.
because it didn't feel the same as David Tennant's. Not because the actors had changed, but because the showrunner changed, because it was Russell T Davies, then it went to Stephen Moffat, who is a great writer.
Yeah.
But he just does some stuff where I'm like, don't like that, don't like that,
Yeah.
don't like that, don't like that. But then there's like, but then he'll do like an amazing episode, and I'm like, I forgive you.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll go
so
with
Matt
him.
Smith. Okay.
Okay, are we out of questions?
I feel
Have
like
you seen the Doctor Who movie with Paul McGann?
No.
Go
It's a
watch it. It's really
movie.
good. There was a Doctor. Okay. Brief history. Doctor Who. Doctor Who ran from 1963 until the 1980s,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe, and then it was cancelled
I can't remember when. Yeah.
because the viewership went down, which is really sad. And in an attempt to bring it back, they made a film featuring Paul McGann, who was the 8th Doctor, and it did really well here, but it did terrible in the US, so they didn't make a TV show out of it, and then it didn't come back till 2005 with Christopher Eccleston, who only stayed for one season.
I wonder why they did actually decide to bring it back.
just probably Russell T Davies was like, I have a cool idea.
Yeah.
I don't actually know.
It's like, come on, guys,
Quite
guys,
actually,
please.
quite quick to find
Yeah.
that out.
Yeah.
Guys.
But have you guys
Yes.
heard about
Yes.
what they're doing? I think it's coming up May next year. It's like they're doing a series of radio shows with David Tennant and Catherine Tate, and they're like extra
Yeah.
Doctor Who
Oh,
episodes.
yeah.
That'll be.
I
Really
really
funny.
want to get all the radio episodes, but I'm like, I don't have the time or the money to like. I have like movies.
I had a
still
couple
want
of
to
the
watch.
books actually for Doctor Who. They were quite weird but quite cool.
There's a really good one that's about the first Doctor called Seven Little Aliens, I think, and it's like the title is kind of a parody of Seven Little Indians, I think, by Agatha Christie. I think it was a Miss Marple story, and it's like this really dark horror story, but it's with the first Doctor. So you're like, this is so weird, and I love it. It's like got like really like it's got like some quite gory bits, and like there's another good one with Matt Smith as well. They came out in a collection when the 50th anniversary was coming out, and like each book is like a different story about a different Doctor, and on the spines of the books it's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and like it's got each Doctor on the spine of the book. I've got the first one, the second one, and the 11th one, and they're pretty good. I want to get all of them, but because they look really cool.
You know what I want to
together.
start getting? I want to get some of the Doctor Who comics.
So do I actually. They did one called The Four Doctors
I didn't know
recently,
they had
which was
comics.
Peter Capaldi, David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston, and Matt Smith, or was it? It might have been John Hurt. I'm not sure, but yeah, apparently it's really good. It got like 4 stars in Sci-Fi Now. So
Cool.
yeah.
I'm an adamant. I'm not gonna buy merch. I'm not gonna buy DVDs unless it's complete. I don't buy things because I do not want that struggle of I've already started it, so now I have to finish it.
I stopped buying like X-Men box sets and stuff because I like got this really cool X-Men box set, and then they're like next X-Men film, and I was like, oh, it doesn't look good together. So now I just buy the X-Men films singularly. I'm like, they look nice together on a shelf.
Do you know what I really want to get? I really want to get the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They've got
Phase
the
one.
Phase 1, Phase
Yeah.
2 box sets. Because like Phase 1's like the case of the Tesseract, and I think Phase 2, what does Phase 2 have in it? I can't remember what Phase 2's box set is, but it's so cool. And then all the DVDs and stuff with really cool artwork, and I'm just like, I want these so badly. I want the Infinity Stones, man.
No,
So have you got any more questions for Rosemary?
That's all my questions.
Well, since we were talking about Doctor Who, I want to get onto my film pitch.
yes.
Oh, and Douglas is pitching. Douglas pitches films. That's what he does.
Just for Rosemary, you don't know.
When the Avengers came out, there was a very big like generation of memes.
Oh yeah.
that
the
spread,
Yes.
like, you know, Spider-Man not being in the Avengers, but then there was this really good one I saw a while ago when the Avengers was coming out, and it was British Avengers, and it was like this detective guy I don't know from one of the shows like Taggart or something, and then like the Doctor, James Bond, Sherlock, and Harry Potter. And I was like, that's cool, but there's already such a thing as the British Avengers. It's called the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh my god, I fucking love that so much. I
Do you know
love
what,
the
do you know what I'm
Extraordinary
suddenly
Gentleman.
thinking of? Have you ever seen the show The Avengers from like really old
Yeah,
times?
and also
It's
they
got
had the 60s
Alina
Avengers.
Tyrell, is it?
Yeah,
In
and
it.
one of the actors
I
from
saw
that
an
recently
episode
died.
of that, and I thought, this is weird. I just seen her as an old woman now, and I'm like, she was young.
I loved that movie.
Age happens.
See, it's
I
really
like the
it's
movie.
it got
Yeah,
really
it's
flacked.
great.
You know, it's really badly reviewed. I like it as like a guilty pleasure. The
Yeah, it's
comics, I'm getting the comics for Christmas. I'm really excited. My girlfriend was like, "Oh yeah, I'll just get you the collections of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen," because it was written by Alan Moore, who did like Watchmen, which is like one of the greatest
Watchmen
comic,
is good.
comic books ever written. And then
I like the
League of
movie
Extraordinary
ending.
Gentlemen. In the comics, they fight like Moriarty and stuff like that, and it's
Yes.
great.
Nice.
But like, so this is what I'm pitching: League of Extraordinary Gentlemen,
Wait.
2020.
Didn't one of them, the guy who looks in the thing, when you know the painting where he gets like older if he looks in the painting?
Yeah,
Did
Dorian
he get his
Gray.
own series or a movie or something?
That
I'm
was
sure.
well, Dorian Gray. Well, it's the pitch for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was the Avenger. Well, no, it was Justice League of America, but in Victorian England. So like they picked like a bunch of like English literary characters. So they went for like Dorian Gray and Jekyll and Hyde. And,
I love Jekyll.
And then Nemo got his own comic series written by Alan Moore, which was apparently really good. But my pitch, since they're bringing back League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, they're remaking it at the moment.
The film.
Yes!
Yeah.
So
The,
excited.
great.
That was my favourite one.
I really
Like,
like
it's
the
my
movie.
favorite.
People really hate it.
I liked it.
I think it's like a guilty pleasure film. Like Sean
Yeah.
Connery's fun in it, and it's like But this is League of Extraordinary Gentlemen 2020.
Yeah.
So
No.
this is going to be your modern day League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, because there has been such
Now
a
I'm
thing.
going to be critical to you, Douglas, here, because I'm like, I really love
So
League of
let's stay
Extraordinary
quiet till
Gentlemen.
the end and then just
Yeah.
judge him with our eyes.
Well, there's a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen 2009 comic, so I was like, oh, let's do it 2020. So our cast is going to be the Doctor,
Yay.
007,
Yay.
Sherlock,
Yay.
Hermione,
Yay. Ah.
Ooh.
and Arthur Dent from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yay.
And so we're going to start off the film, and Sherlock is going to be investigating a mysterious death which leads him to 007, who killed the guy. And he finds out the person was a wizard, Ron Weasley. This deteriorates into like weird fan fiction after like 2 seconds. But
Oh,
just
I
go
love
with
it already.
British government have decided to stop wizards. They're too much of a threat. The Doctor shows up, but it's not the current Doctor, it's the 8th Doctor, Paul McGann, because he didn't get enough time and I want to give him some stories. And he is travelling with Arthur Dent from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because Douglas Adams also wrote for Doctor Who in like the 70s and stuff, so I thought it would be real fun to like put Arthur Dent in here. Says this has a bad effect on the timeline of Earth, wizards get angry, Earth gets wrecked.
Get right. I think you just want to add that sentence
Yeah.
in.
Arthur is told he's on a parallel Earth, because if you know Hitchhiker's Guide to the
Yeah.
Galaxy, Earth got destroyed.
Yeah.
One, they didn't blow up. He gets upset, as he always does.
Yeah,
Like,
he does.
that's the character Arthur Dent. He just gets upset all the time. He's like, what's going on? And then he, like, angrily shouts. They soon run into Hermione, who's been tracking Bond for the murder of her husband. She explains wizards are good and this attack is ridiculous. After some bickering, I really want this cool fight between Sherlock and 007. Like, I thought that would be fun. Because you know how you see, like, in one of my favourite Sherlock episodes with Irene Adler,
Yeah.
where
Oh
like,
yeah,
she has the
when
gun
they
in the
take
safe,
it, yeah,
and
and
it
they
just goes into
yeah.
slow-mo and he just like
Yes.
does this duck and like attacks like the CIA agents. I thought it'd be cool
Yeah.
to see him do that with like, and it's not going to be Daniel Craig Bond obviously, because he said he'd rather slit his wrists with broken glass than do Bond again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said that. He
What?
said the only reason he'd do it would be for money.
That's
yeah.
awful.
Why you hate James Bond? He's like,
So-
he was made to prove that we are still cool after the war.
Oh, what?
But apparently not. Apparently he hates him. But you know, maybe you can have Idris Elba or something.
Oh, that would be good. I think that would be brilliant with him, is it?
But after some bickering, like I thought it'd be fun to have like the fight between Sherlock and the Doctor, while like Arthur and the Doctor like try and sort things out, and Hermione is just like these dumbasses. They find out that Missy has infiltrated the British government in a Harold Saxon-esque way. Rosemary will get this reference. The Master once posed as the Prime Minister of
Oh,
Britain
yeah.
and took over Britain pretty much, and it was real screwed up.
It's amazing
It's
though.
a real good episode.
I think I know which
And,
one
like,
you're thinking of.
It's really cool though, because if you go back and watch like older episodes of Doctor Who that got Harold Saxon posters, and also if you go and watch Torchwood, there are posters of Harold Saxon.
Oh my God,
They're like Harold
you do.
Saxon,
I
and
remember,
also
yes.
there's a bit in Torchwood where they
I forgot all about Torchwood.
Torchwood.
That was still a thing.
there's a bit in Torchwood where they go into Captain Jack's office and they go and open the door, and on the door you see the Slovene, you know, the Slovene woman
Yeah.
in her disguise, and she's like, "Scandal" on like Downing Street or something, and you're like, "Oh, nice reference." But like there's like a reference that has nothing to do with there's like an episode that has nothing to do with Doctor Who, and they're outside this house and there's just plastered like Harold Saxon everywhere, and you're like, thank you, Russell T Davis, for working so hard on this. So yeah, you're going to find out that Missy has infiltrated the British government just to turn the tide between Muggle and Wizard, just to mess with the Doctor.
Yeah.
And then it's going to end with a fight between evil wizards and the Master. That's
That
my
is-
pitch.
Yeah.
Done. Fan fiction pitch.
Yeah, that did sound kind of fanfic.
Yeah.
When I wrote it at like 12 o'clock last night, and I was
Just
like,
write the
It
fan.
sounds more like a fan fiction than like a
Douglas.
trailer for the League of Extraordinary
Douglas, write
Gentlemen.
the fan fiction of it, because you never know, it could get 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, that's true.
Woo! Twilight fan fiction at its best.
Woo!
Alan Moore
Oh.
like hates everything like about Extraordinary Gentlemen outside of the comics though. He's like, I hate you all. Like, I love Alan Moore. He's crazy. He's insane. He's like got like a huge beard and like long black hair, and he like sits in his house all day and smokes pot, and he's just insane. He's like, he's screwed up.
Sounds wonderful.
And he's made some screwed up characters. But yeah, that's my pitch for this week. I spent like 5 minutes writing it.
It's beautiful.
But I was like, I know I want Arthur Dent, and I was like, I don't want to put Harry Potter in it, and I don't want it to be Peter Capaldi Doctor, and I was like, Paul McGann, because then he can actually, have some time as the Doctor. And you could even do it as a TV show.
It does sound like a mildly, almost crack fan fiction.
Oh,
but
yeah.
So is Leaks as Extraordinary Gentleman.
Yeah, it is actually.
It is
That is the whole
basically.
point of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's just fan fiction, really well
It's
written.
like it's like Sherlock though. It's like fan fiction as well. Like the kind of
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally just them going, what would happen if Sherlock was in this situation in modern Britain? It's basically just Sherlock fan fiction.
Fans are fucking sick. Yeah, I'm kind of like, in Sherlock, does no one get like, his name is Sherlock Holmes, and like the book Sherlock Holmes, does the book
Don't
not
exist.
It doesn't exist.
It's like an
I'm so glad then, because I
No,
would be
you
like,
are.
why is no one picking
I
up
love
on
that.
it?
I love that you thought like
I was like
that's a big coincidence, isn't it?
I'd be like, why aren't people pointing this shit out?
You know
what? I
like
really want
Greg
to see-
Lestrade,
Oh,
Gregory
yeah,
Lestrade in
Yeah.
Sherlock. He's a combination of two characters, called two detectives or two police chief people called Gregory and Lestrade, I think. And the reason they keep forgetting Sherlock keeps forgetting his first name is because Arthur Conan Doyle forgot his first name when he was writing the books. So it's a reference to that.
I do like
Sherlock, fun fact.
Sherlock.
Do you know what I really want to see though? Is the Mr. Holmes one with Ian McKellen?
So do I. I
That
really
looks
want
like
it.
it'd be
I was
really
really
good.
excited for it, but then it got okay-ish reviews, and I was like,
Sherlock
still
Holmes
interested.
is
See,
proof
yeah.
that fans are fucking psychos, because
Yeah.
when the
Oh.
books were originally written, they were so mad. They were like, "We want Sherlock back."
It
They
literally brought him
progressed
from the
it,
dead.
so he had to legit the
I
power
feel
of
so bad
anger.
for Arthur Conan Doyle. 'Cause
Yeah.
He didn't like Sherlock. He was like, I don't like writing this character. It's like, no one's taking me seriously.
It's like, but then they went way overboard. You killed him? No, that's not okay.
Well, I think they're doing a third Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock film.
Really?
Well, it makes
Well,
sense.
yeah,
doesn't
I
it?
would
'Cause
like
Robert
it to
Downey
have a
Jr.
better
will
closing.
yeah, because Robert Downey Jr. will bring in like 3 million. That's not
Yeah.
even much. 300 billion trillion.
I kind of like the way he plays the character in the movie, but it's a bit too himself.
I like it when it does the slow-mo thing. And
Oh,
it
yeah,
shows
the-
him like
it's like,
thinking everything through.
the-
But it doesn't have the Sherlock thing where you see what he sees and he like
Oh,
looks at
yeah.
someone and he like, oh, they have a dog and it is
Yeah.
this size and like he
Yeah.
has a gun in his left pocket and like
Yeah,
like,
I
he just
get
figures
that.
everything out for like little bunks.
Oh,
And
yeah,
stuff,
again,
and I love
like-
that.
You've seen the analogies of fans on fucking Tumblr with their shit. Like, they see a clip and, like, they already deduced that Mary was a
yeah.
fucking liar.
Yeah, because
Before,
it comes
like,
up with liar.
Yeah, and
Like,
it's like,
I
Try
was
to be
watching
subtle.
a behind the scenes thing for Parks and Recreation, and you know when it's when Leslie does her ad campaign.
Yeah.
And like it was the producers, and they were like, we've discovered in years that because of DVDs and stuff, fans are so obsessive. They will pause it to get everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like the list that comes up of all the things, it's like they were just going to put a load of gobbledygook, but then they were like, well, hold on, fans are going to pause this and get everything. So they actually came up with like a proper list of actual things because they knew how obsessive
Yeah.
fans were nowadays.
See, Community is like that. You should all watch Community, by the way.
What's
I know none
Community?
of you have watched Community. It's so...
I've never even heard of Community.
Okay, it's about a bunch of people in a Spanish study group in a community college, and they're all like failed in their life. So like one of them,
Us.
so one of them is like a lawyer who faked his bachelor's degree, and he's like the main character. And then there's like a girl who's like kind of a hippie and didn't really do anything with her life.
That is me.
The other one is like a middle-aged Christian woman, and she's like your kind of average.
So the lawyer is Douglas. I am the hippie, Sophie.
I am not the Christian. I am
But, like-
so non-religious.
But like she's like your average like sassy black woman. But
Okay.
she's also like really religious. And then there's like this Jewish girl who left school because she had like a breakdown and she took a bunch of meds because like people used to make fun of her and stuff. And then one of the guys who used to make fun of her is also in the group, and he's like this failed athlete and he like hurt himself, so he had to. Do you remember I showed you Donald Glover?
Yeah.
That's him.
Okay.
Sophie's the dropout. Rosemary is the black sassy woman.
And then-
I am the hippie and Douglas
And then
is
there's
the lawyer.
Abed, who is the best character because he has like autism or something, and like he's kind of like he always says cool.
That's Callum.
Callum has autism. But yeah, they're all in this study group, and there's this wonderful feeling of just weirdness in the show. Because in the first episode they're like, oh yeah, we're going to be fairly regular, but then they like just get weirder and weirder. Like they do like an episode where it's like all claymation
Yeah.
for like their Christmas special, and then they do an episode where it's like a paintball war. Oh, sorry, just burped. But yeah, in one of the episodes of that, the dean of the college is like, oh, the free condoms we've been handing out are ineffective. Please don't use them. Okay? And that's at the start of the episode. It's just meant to be like this little off joke. And it's like, please don't use, because the dean is always coming out with like stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's kind of implied that he's really gay. But he's
Yeah.
like kind of closeted.
Okay.
Because he like always comes up to the lawyer guy and he's like, Jeffrey, because like the lawyer guy's really sexy. He's like really tall and like he's like got abs and stuff. And he like comes up and sniffs him and stuff. And like, it's so funny. But like, so he says this thing about the condoms being ineffective, and then later on in the episode you see like in the background a couple getting it on, and then later on you see the couple are pregnant, and then later on you see Abed like in the back helping the couple give birth. And this is all going on while the main story is going on.
Just like
And
a
it's
back
not,
joke.
it's just a background joke that they've included just to see
This
if you'll
is reminding
notice.
me. Have you guys ever heard of the show Teachers?
No.
No, it's got the main guy from The Walking Dead in it. I can't remember his name right now.
I know. who you're talking
It's truly one of the best shows ever. It's about this sort of group of teachers in a school, and they're really shit. But in the background of all the scenes, you just get the weirdest things happening. Like there'll be some kids randomly fighting in the background, and I think in every episode there's a donkey that goes past at some point, or there's a sheep. Like you've got the main action happening just in the background. There's just some weird shit. Like all the canteen staff are midgets as well. That's a really bad way to phrase that, but like. It's
Little people.
Dwarfism.
it's so strange, but it's so wonderful, and I think everyone should watch it because it's not very well known, but it's just fantastic.
That makes me think of Malcolm in the Middle, because there was a running joke in Malcolm in the Middle where Stewie lost his hamster.
Oh,
And you just see the hamster rolling by in random scenes, like
Yeah.
it'll just like zoom in, and it'll just be like rolling by, and then it's just like, that's the hamster for this episode.
I love.
You just don't see him
I
again
really
for,
like the
10
episode
episodes.
where like I wish I had daughters instead, and it's like
Yeah, it
worse.
shows the one
Like,
daughters
it's
would be
like-
like, and it's just like nice at first, but then it like gets really
One's
evil,
pregnant, and it's like that's my boyfriend. She's like, girls, and her husband's fat. Like,
yeah,
he's
it
fat.
gets really fat, and he like smokes, and like,
Yeah.
I love Hal.
He was a good like dad.
He was so. When I watched Breaking Bad, I was like, "This is really weird seeing Bryan Cranston get really mean." Because
He's really good
he's so
actor though.
sweet in the show. There's a theory that says that Malcolm from Malcolm in the Middle is Hal in Breaking Bad. Is Walter White in Breaking Bad?
Oh,
Because loads of people are like, "Oh, Hal in Malcolm in the Middle is just Walter White in Witness Protection Program," but some people are like, "No, Walter White is Malcolm," because like. In the show, it's like implied that Walter White has problems with his mother and he doesn't get on with her,
oh,
like Malcolm. He's intelligent, like Malcolm. He like worked his way up from the bottom, like Malcolm. He saw his dad have like mental breakdowns when he was younger,
Oh.
like because you see Malcolm. There's like one bit where Malcolm's in a car. Malcolm sleeps in a car, and then his
Yeah.
dad gets into the car, and he doesn't know he's there, and he's like having troubles with money, and he does. Bryan Cranston is such a wonderful actor. He just does this freak out, and he starts like hitting the car, and like
Yeah.
it's really funny, but it's also quite dark at the same time, and it's just like you start to get this idea that Malcolm's going to grow up kind of damaged, and
Yeah.
it's like, wait, he could be.
like
like,
you could do that. I think that it would be
That's
good.
quite weird.
I like that he looked after the kid Dewey. Like he would get the kid to stay with him and his
Oh,
family
yeah.
during the
Oh,
thing because
yeah.
like
Oh,
he wanted him to grow up
don't-
with like a normal family life, and I was like,
Oh.
that's so sweet.
Dewey's wonderful. Dewey
Yeah.
must have just retired because I haven't seen him in anything.
I would.
And fair enough.
I feel like he would be
because
great
that-
in something though.
I know, but like fair enough for retiring because like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a generation defining performance as
Yeah,
Dewey.
that's all
He's
you
so
need.
wonderful. I love Dewey. I love Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that like other family thing that is basically Malcolm in the Middle, but like more
Crap.
something else? Yeah,
The middle.
yeah, that's it. Just the middle.
The middle where they just
Everyone
ripped
said
off
I-
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
That's not very
Everyone
good.
said I was Susan because I had braces. And my hair would be down. They're like, "You're Susan." I'm like, "No, I'm not."
You're so
That's
excused.
I feel like you're racist.
I'm not badly written.
Yeah, I'm like the best character on the show.
Anyway.
Shall we move on?
Yes.
Okay, Douglas has brought up that he has heard about One Punch Man. So Douglas, what have you heard about One Punch Man?
That's good.
Do you know anything that's about?
guy who punches once.
Only once in the entire.
And he still hasn't punched.
Yeah.
It's all build up. No, Lana, I don't think you know how my brain works. I just hear something's really good, and I hear like lots of critical praise for it, and I don't go and check what it is. I'm just like, okay, I'll watch that at some point.
Well, you fucking should, because it's brilliant. I actually, the origin of this probably actually comes from Tumblr.
Yay!
There was. Sophie.
It took me a minute.
Okay.
Yay, minorities.
So there was originally like I presume it was a Tumblr post, because I saw it before One Punch Man was a thing, and it was a joke about, imagine, it was making fun of heroes and stuff like that. It's like, imagine a guy who could punch with only one punch, and it's like, imagine he was bald and all this shit. And it was just a joke. And then it became a webcomic, and then it became a manga, and now it's an anime, and it is a man who defeats everyone with one punch. And do you want to know how he became this powerful?
How?
Just like normal fitness exercise training. like that's it. That's fucking it.
Show us
He's like,
a clip from it when the person's all like, "Oh, you should train me and stuff," and he's just like, "Huh?"
Okay, so in the show, Sightman, One Punch Man. Did you just fucking drop your bagel? Oh.
Out from my bag.
Oh, I thought you dropped it and you were like, I'm
finished it,
giving
and I
you
was
this
like,
floor
she has
bagel.
more bagel. Okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, like the whole thing is
Go get Subway after this.
Yeah.
So
He's-
that's my breakfast.
he's a hero for fun.
I had a banana
He-
this morning.
He's a hero for fun. That's all he does, for fun.
Mhm.
And he's really just like so almost emotionless, but not like
Yeah.
he's funny. He's funny whilst not knowing he's funny. And the whole thing is it starts off with him like going around becoming like punching things, monsters that are coming out, and every episode he only punches once. He only uses one punch in the entire episode, and it's like, what is he going to use the punch on, and for who and where?
Are the episodes like normal anime length? Are they like 20 minutes?
I feel like they're quite short actually, because like the manga takes like 30 chapters to do like just building up, but like you will see like the entire thing in like one thing. Like the whole
I'm
the
considering
joke
reading
is
the
one
manga, because
the manga's great.
a lot
It's
of
an
the-
easy read.
I have weird things towards Japanese culture, because a lot of the time I prefer reading the manga to actually watching the anime.
That's
And
very common.
Lana's okay, that's good, because don't get annoyed with me here.
It's
okay?
fine. No.
Anime acting is sometimes really off-putting. Mostly because I have a feeling it's because dubbing anime is really awkward, because you know how the Japanese people or like Chinese people speak, where it's like I don't want to do a racist impression of China, but it's very kind of fast-paced and it's very like it's like
Oh, they want to get to it.
yeah, it's like
I'm gonna do the rest.
and it's like that's not poking fun at Japanese culture or Asian culture in
It's very-
general. I'm
Things
just
sound
saying.
fast. Like when you hear Italian speak, it sounds fast. When you hear French speak, it sounds fast. It's
Yeah,
normal
but
for like
but
normal
like
language.
French and Italian, like Europeans speak like blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
and then like Japanese and like more like Eastern, Eastern countries are like so like when
I
they,
can understand. Like
when
it's
they
the-
dub
it's the
it,
language.
when they dub it, it's very awkward acting sometimes,
It can
and
be
it's
quite
like
awkward.
I'm your father, you should fight me, and like it's like weird, and it's like we will fight on the battlefield today. And it's like, it comes out very stuttery. Sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
It's
all
because
anime acting.
the original language is like it's quite abbreviated in a way.
Yeah, and it's very
So
hard.
it makes it harder, and like
it's sharper.
things that we would say that are shorter have to be like,
Yeah.
prolonged, and things that like normally, as you said, it would like be a
Yeah.
whole sentence in like a short bit, so we would have to find something shorter.
But like some anime acting is just, it's off-putting to me.
Normally in the like original dubs, you probably don't notice as much because like as an English viewer, you're reading the subtitles and like try to watch the show, so you're not 100% listening, but you're like listening to the explosions and the sound effects more. But they say, from what I've heard, is like the original dubbers, because they don't really show much emotion in their voice for original, so it's normally shown through like through the movement and that kind of thing. So we're getting off topic. We're talking about.
I'll probably read
Don't
the
know.
I'll probably read the manga first. Though. I'm not sure
Reading manga is like really good because
because I really love
Like-
manga. I think it's like coming as a comic book lover, like I probably bought too
More
many
in
in my
depth
life. Like,
than details.
yeah, like I have the entire Death Note Black edition.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the
Mhm.
like with 2 books per volume. No,
Yeah.
is it 2 books? I think it is. I think it's 2 books per volume, and it's like these gorgeous like black books, and the pages are all black on the side, so it looks really nice on
Yeah.
your shelf, and it's like in Roman numerals, so it looks really fancy. And I've also read the first book of Akira and All You Need Is Kill. You know, the one that Edge of Tomorrow was based off of.
Mm.
Yeah, the Tom Cruise movie. I read that as well, and that was brilliant. Like
I
I read that before I watched the movie, and I was like, "This is awesome."
Mangas are really good for detail. I think a good example was I don't particularly like. My friend is a big fan of Vampire Knight, and it's like got 2 seasons,
one of my
like
friends
12,
really likes
12
that.
episodes. Personally, I do not like the show, but one of my other friends was collecting the manga at the time, and I was like, okay, I'll have a quick read of it. And some bits in like the show are kind of like, what?
Isn't the manga backwards? The book you read it
Yeah,
backwards?
you read it like
The
from
Japanese is
backwards.
written
The Japanese,
Yeah.
the Chinese ones, I think they're normal ways.
because it's. I quite like that though. I like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
a bit of like
it's immersion.
character into it.
But like, yeah, it gives it its own
Yeah.
personal feel. But like, this isn't only with manga. This is with some superhero things as well. Like some like animated movies that are adapted. Like, do not get me wrong, The Dark Knight Returns is one of the greatest Batman comics ever written, and its film adaptation of 2 parts. Everyone should watch it because it's great. But there are just some things, like there are some lines where they roll off the tongue, and I'm like, I would have done that differently, or I imagined that differently in my head. And there's like little things in the movie, like they leave out Batman's internal monologue when he's like, and that's like a really internal part of like a really important part to the comic. So when they left it out of the movie, I remember Kevin Smith was talking about it, he was like, just go back and go over the movie and just add in the internal monologue.
And when you
And
read
it's-
things.
But like, it's a really good movie, and it's RoboCop voices Batman,
Oh,
and it's great. It's great. And you seen Modern Family?
Bits.
You know the youngest daughter in Modern Family,
I think
the
so,
smart
actually.
one, the young. Yeah, she plays Robin.
Is she?
Yeah, it's great.
That's
Because
great.
there's Girl Robin in The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Everyone should read The Dark Knight Returns. It's wonderful. And it's pretty much what all Batman movies are based on.
Yeah, they
Everyone's like, let's just do Dark Knight Returns.
like when you read
And-
things, you can become more intimate because like you're making their own voices.
Yeah,
And like you
exactly.
like because you're just seeing like freeze frames of them. You're like imagining how they would move
Yeah.
and like all this.
Like especially I think with superheroes in fight scenes because like there's like a weird position one of them's in, and then the next is a completely
yeah, and you
different
imagine
position,
your
and you're like,
movement
how did you
transition
get to
into
that?
Mm.
You imagine that into that, like I was saying, Vampire Knight, like the story is really detailed in the manga. Personally, I think it would have been like a lot better story if they left out the love triangle, the whole focus. But I can understand why they had it in there because that was like the main motivation for like the main male leads. But like if it was just like a brotherly thing instead, I think it would have made the story much better. But like that, it becomes like really immersed. Anyway, Winch Punch Man.
Winch Punch.
Winch Punch Man.
Winch Punch.
It's also kind of like poking fun at the superhero genre
Yeah.
at the same time.
Mhm.
And as I said, he gets an apprentice.
Mm.
He gets seen to like just one punch knocks the thing out, and it's like, oh, become my teacher. And he's just like, what? He's legit a normal guy who's like, what the fuck is this? He's like, I'm just a superhero for fun. Please stop. And it's like he finds out through his apprentice, who's just like, what am I supposed to do? I quite like that because normally
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I don't want you as my apprentice. You're not worthy, and it's like, oh, becoming
They
emotional
prove
build up. And
themselves.
he's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
So that's quite good. It's like it's quite realistic in that sense.
Mm.
But he gets the student. The student's like, oh, he's like, I've noticed something. It's like, what is it, master? It's like, I've been a hero for 3 years and no one knows I fucking exist. It's like, you signed up to the superhero guild. He's like, what? Like legit, there's this whole guild that you have to sign up to like become a member. And like become well known through that to like become the best superhero. You have to work your way up through the ranks, and he's been doing this for 3 years and had no fucking idea at all. And he's been like destroying these badass monsters, which is also great because bit of a spoiler, but later on they introduce another character who's like S rank, which is the best of the best, and he's just a normal guy. And basically what happened was he would show up coincidentally the same places that Sadama was killing the things in one punch, and everyone was like, oh, he's amazing, and he's like panicking because like everyone wants him to fight these monsters, and he's like, I'm just a normal guy. What do you? He just goes home and like plays dating sims. That's legit. It's good.
It's funny. Like, the characters in it are funny.
I
It's a
feel like
comedy,
I will,
it's just poking
I feel
fun.
like I will watch or read it.
It's like-
it depends if it comes out. If it comes out on Netflix, then I'll probably watch it
But-
first. But if I can pick up the manga
The whole
first,
point is to poke fun, but it does have like an interesting sense because like he passes the physical exam as like I showed you a clip at lunch
Yeah.
once, and like he passed the exam to the extreme, but he fails the written test, and the written test is like being a good person, and it's like how the fuck can you fail that? But so he's like lower ranked than his like S-ranked fucking student.
No, I really like a satire, especially when it's about superheroes.
Yeah.
Like, because I think it's a fine line to walk when you do a satire about like kind
He's
of a
really
genre like that. Because like the Kick-Ass books, they're good, but like they walk this weird line between parody and sincerity. So
Yeah.
it's like one scene it will be like, haha, remember that bit in Batman Year One where they burst in, let's do that, and then he gets like hit in the head when he does it, and it's like, because he's like, people of New York, you have like eaten well, and that's like a parody of the scene in the really famous scene in Batman Year One, and then it's like the next scene someone has a really emotional death or something, and it's meant to be like really gut-wrenchingly, because I'm going to go on a Mark Miller rant very quickly. Mark Miller is a weird writer because he writes brilliant books like Old Man Logan and The First Kick-Ass and Civil War, but then he kind of does some weirder stuff where you're like, that's uncomfortable. Like Wanted. In Wanted, he like implies that the main character raped someone, and like it's just like, Mark Miller, we get it. You're trying to be edgy, but like just stop. Just stop. But like I like it when
The whole
parodies
point
can like
of it.
they can walk that fine line very well. Like they can make fun of something without sacrificing their own story.
At this point, there's like, I've read in the manga, so like I'm ahead of the anime. So like in the point, there's a bit where it's like Earth is being attacked, and all the S-ranked heroes are like trying to fight off this alien spaceship, and he's in there in the ship. He's just punching holes through his thing. Like, no, where's the bad guy? And they're all like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? We gotta escape. And you eventually reach the bad guy, and the bad guy's like, oh yeah, he was told a prophecy that if he traveled to like this part of the galaxy, he would become super powerful, and he would finally find someone who could match him.
Yeah.
And I think it took Satchman like 2 punches this time to like actually defeat him. And then he's talking about how he understands like being overpowered as he is. He's like he understands that he kind of feels apathetic about everything because he's so overpowered and like nothing can defeat him. Which is kind of good because it kind of brings up who's that character who's also had the thing. I don't know, Superman for example.
Yeah.
Like really overpowered and feeling like apathetic. So like it's like his hobby is being a hero, but he feels apathetic about it. And I was like, that's good. But it also keeps in the good comedy. Like he doesn't full on punch again, but he just does like this and punches this guy in the dick, and I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I will try it.
Go watch it.
I will give it a try once I've finished, like all 50 other things I'm watching.
Yeah, you've watched too many things.
I do. I don't have the time to do it either.
Sure
like
can.
Thank you.
I've lost sleep because I've been watching like Peep Show, like 5 episodes at a time. Peep Show's
I finally caught up with Steven Universe because my friend came back
I
for.
still haven't watched that. I've heard it's great.
Same.
It's actually gotten really like, because I haven't watched it in a while, and because my best friend, I was like, I would always watch it with him. So I was like, I haven't watched Steven Universe at all since like you left, and he was like, oh my god, let's watch it, and I was like, okay. So we did watch it. We also watched a musical, but we did watch it.
What musical did you watch?
Do you know? This isn't a
Muffin
musical. The people who directed the
Scott
genetic rock,
Clare.
Repo, the genetic opera. I also had a movie, Repo.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, vaguely.
Well, the company who did the genetic opera, it's a musical. They also made this thing. I can't remember the full. It had something called Circus. The first song is really shit, and he told me the first song was shit, so he fast forwarded it. And I was like, what? And also because we're doing drama now, I can like. He was like, I don't understand some of these bits, and I was like, I understand them perfectly. This scene where he's walking through the fun house and the devil is speaking and he's speaking at the same time, so it confused you that they're singing. It is like his inner evil coming out as he walks through like balloons and confetti, and to the last point where it's like a sink with blood where he killed himself, and I was like, this is a transition through his emotional experiences, and he's just like, I don't understand. I was like, I'm a drama student.
I have a statement to
really
make about musicals.
What?
Just give me a second.
Oh,
Go
I
on.
do
I'm
not
gonna
like
get
Into the
attacked.
Woods.
And Douglas is standing up. He's hiding
I was
behind
gonna say he
his
don't
chair.
like musical. Okay.
Nightmare Before Christmas is overrated.
Oh, that
You twat.
that I can agree with. It is slightly overrated.
No, it's wonderful.
Really?
But
No,
it's really good.
It's been kind of
Oversaturated.
they had the fans like of Tim Burton and like that film, and then everybody else was like, oh, that looks pretty cool, and now so that everyone's like, oh yeah, it's so amazing. And you're like, no, you're just pretending to think it's cool when you don't really follow
really-
it,
Yeah.
and you're like,
It's good.
It's
it
a
happens
good
with a
movie.
lot of things.
Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I understand the
but
effort,
it is
and-
overrated.
but like
in,
it's extremely overrated in the same way
yeah.
Matrix is.
Matrix is pretty overrated.
Gonna get
Like,
some
I think
haters.
Matrix is quite.
I
Do you
watched
know what,
Matrix without nostalgia because I hadn't seen it. I only watched it like half a year ago, and I watched it on Blu-ray, and I was like, "This is okay," but the acting is really wooden and like it's kind of dull, and it's like it feels like
I can
it's like the longest rushed film, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like there's so much. Like I feel like there's so many concepts that are drawn out but also rushed at the same
It's
time.
revolutionary, but it's
Oh
not
yeah,
detailed
don't get me wrong,
at all.
but it's like
It's not in depth.
It's
And the
like
acting is terrible.
you know the film Ghost.
That's true. I can agree
Yeah.
that. the-
Yeah, have you guys seen Ghost?
I've seen Ghost.
So you know
I
the
like
like
Ghost,
the
don't
creatures
back up
that
Ghost.
no, I'm not going to. But you know
Gonna
the
fight you.
creatures that drag the people
Yeah.
down. Like nowadays, it's kind of a little bit shit. But like back then, that was like my mum said those things. Like she went to see Ghost in the cinema when it came out. She said that it genuinely was just so terrifying. But like nowadays, you're kind of like, okay, that's a bit.
I'm
cool.
really
Yeah.
But
concerned.
like that
for,
was
like,
so
yeah.
cool. Like,
at
have
the
you ever
time,
gone back and watched the first Ice Age?
Oh,
It's such a
yeah,
great
I
film,
know, and
but
then
the
you're like,
animation
this
is so bad.
Yeah.
But like, I love How to Train Your Dragon, and when I went to see the second one, I cried in the first 5 minutes just because the animation was so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's
And like the
true.
sky, it could pass over you and think it's a realistic sky.
Yeah.
10, 15 years down the line, that's going to be bad animation.
Yeah.
And
You
that's
know-
quite scary, actually.
You know what I love looking at the diagram of The Simpsons, where it's like
Oh,
when the
yeah.
stories were great, the
Yeah.
animation was
Oh,
crap,
yeah.
and now that the stories are crap, the animation is great, and it's
Yeah.
like just meet in the middle. That middle area was
Yeah.
like season.
And that middle area was when they did Futurama. It's like loads of people say they should have continued Futurama instead of Simpsons, but they
They
should.
should've.
No, they shouldn't.
Oh,
have, though.
actually no. Yeah,
Futurama
kept
ended
going.
so perfectly. Like everyone, I would love it if there was more Futurama, but it would just destroy it. It's such the perfect show.
There's quite a
It's-
few
I love
shows
it.
that like I really quite enjoyed the ending to it. I can't remember.
Yeah,
one.
if a show can get a good ending, you
House,
want more.
House had like a
But
but at the
brilliant.
same time,
Well, I must
Yeah.
tell you that it had a brilliant ending. Like some bits it could like drag on, but like the characters were like really good. I loved House the most because he was a junkie, but he was a doctor, he was a friend, and he was an asshole
Also
at the
based
same
on Sherlock
time.
Holmes.
Yes, but like the ending to it, like go watch it. Even if like you get bits and you're like, oh, this is drag. Even if you stop watching it, just watch the ending because that like I thought that was the perfect
like
way to end
if a
House.
show has a good ending, it makes the show. It makes you think, God, they should have continued this. But at the same time, you're like, but they shouldn't have because that was just perfection.
I'm trying to think of a show I really liked the ending of.
Friends is the perfect
God,
ending to a
don't.
show. It is the perfect. ending.
Sometimes Friends dragged on a bit for me, but I do love Friends.
Yeah.
If it continued, it would have
Malcolm
gotten
in the
bad,
Middle.
but it was perfectly.
great ending.
Yeah.
I didn't see the end of Malcolm in the Middle.
You should watch it. It's
What
pretty
happened at the end?
When you
good.
have
You know
to
what
think
had a
of
terrible ending? How I Met Your Mother. Screw that
Oh
show.
my God.
Screw that
Oh,
show.
That's yeah.
Screw
When
that
I was
show.
saying before about
It's just
endings,
no.
I sometimes blank them out. That did not happen.
No, I
That was
ignore
not
it
the
because
ending
you know
of that
why?
story.
You know why? You know
I was
why I
like, no.
loved How I Met Your Mother? You know how I fell in love with How I Met Your Mother? I watched the first episode and you're introduced to Robin and I was like, that's going to be the mother. And then it's
And
like,
you're like,
but
oh, this
it's
is
not
so-
the mother.
yeah.
And I'm like, brilliant!
Exactly.
Do that! And it's
And
like,
then they
oh
did
no,
that,
we
so-
get together
yeah,
in the end. I'm like,
Yeah, so
screw
that
you!
didn't
But
happen.
it, like
In my
everybody
mind,
I got
there
loves.
so
must
hungry. I was
be
like,
the
that's what was
Everybody-
so good about your show.
I was like, you
Guys.
just
Like-
completely ruined everything
you
about
you
it.
made it so realistic by being
Yeah.
like, relationships sometimes don't work. And it's like, no, they
Yeah.
get together in the end.
But guys,
That's so...
Guys.
drove me
And
insane.
they're just like, oh yeah,
I'm
it's
just-
fine
I'm
that you've
just-
loved this woman all along. Go with her
Yeah,
instead
it's
of
like-
I'm like,
But
No.
it was the Robin and Barney thing. They were perfect.
yeah, and then
But it's like,
broke up.
why?
That's Robin and Barney stayed together, and their mother didn't die, and Ted and her stayed
It
together.
was so fast as well. It was like, your mother died, by the way.
Yeah,
And then it just
I know.
goes on. It's like, but now I want to do Robin.
So yeah,
and I have grey
that's-
hair now because I am old. And like,
Oh,
That's how it ended for me.
I know.
Okay, that
But
ending
see,
wasn't true. Robin
it's
and
so
Barney are
much
still together.
easier
And it just,
to think
You know
of a
how it
show with a
ended for
bad
me?
ending than a
That
good
bit
ending.
where it pans up and you finally see the mother.
yeah.
That's where it ends.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, that's it.
Like, I genuinely
After that,
freaked
After
out
that,
about
it's like
You're
season
just-
9. It's
you're
like,
just-
oh.
Like, I
Like, the best part about season 9 is when.
We're just being
Nah, shut up. We're talking about how to
It's
marry
just
your
you.
mother.
Yeah.
When he's depressed and like she's just broken up with her boyfriend and she's like thinking about her
Yes.
ex-husband and she comes out onto the porch and she
And
starts
she's
like playing her
talking to-
little
Yeah.
ukulele. Yeah,
I
she
love
starts
ukuleles.
playing. And she starts- and he
that's
says,
that's
like-
the first time I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, and he says it's still
Yeah.
the best of ever. Like,
So if
it's
they
how-
just like
if
took
they,
those little
yeah.
bits and put them
Yeah.
into
there's
the,
like nice parts, and I'm like, that was perfect. But then it's just
It's like, I never watched any of How I Met Your Mother, like, when it came out on TV here in the UK. I always watched it, like, my friend lent me the DVDs and stuff. But, like, that episode when they announced who the mother was, like, I watched that. That was the one episode I watched, and I was like, that's a really good thing, and then it was just...
I really want to like tell Douglas the
I
ending
liked
house
it.
now.
Yeah.
Like, because it was
I
such a
like
good
the one
ending.
where it told
Like-
you how all the obscure characters, what they were up to. I like that, actually.
Mm.
'Cause I like when they do things for the really random, obscure characters, because it's like, you think they're just weird and they
Watch
don't really
Community.
matter. but
I
they're
like-
great.
watch Community.
I-
You are literally describing Community.
Okay.
Watch Community. There's an episode. There's like this character introduced, right? And they call him Fat Neil because he's a fat guy and his name is Neil. And they call the teacher's like, "Hey, Fat Neil," and he's like, "It's just Neil," and it's like, "No, Fat Neil." And like, then like at the start of one episode, it's like it has like a Lord of the Rings opening. And it's like, there once was a boy named Fat Neil. And like, it talks about how he got bullied through high school and like how he was called Fat Neil through high school, and then the name came back when he got into college.
Oh.
And then it's like, and then it like talks about like all the guys in Community, and they're like, they got together to play an epic game of Dungeons and Dragons with him to cheer him up. And then the episode is just them all playing Dungeons
Oh
and
my
Dragons
God.
together, but then like one of the members of the group got left out because he's kind of a dick. And then he gets really angry, so he starts being a dick to Fat Neil. He's like, "You're so fat," and like, it's so good. It's like the best episode of Community, and it's like it's just them playing Dungeons and Dragons and not understanding what Dungeons and Dragons is. So it's like, oh, it's great. Everyone should watch Community.
I've just thought of the greatest TV ending ever. Parks and Recreation.
I still haven't ended
Oh,
Parks and
it's
if
so
you spoil
amazing,
Parks and
we
Recreation for me.
Like, Parks and Recreation is a perfect show. Like, all the... there's... You watch shows and you're like, those relationships shouldn't have worked, that shouldn't have worked. Every relationship in Parks and Rec is perfect. All the background characters are fucking perfect. I, like, love John Ralphio. He's brilliant. Oh, it's just,
Parks and Rec's great.
it's great.
Oh, 30 Rock.
Yes.
Have you guys watched 30 Rock?
I'm
30 Rock had a
something.
perfect ending. Because
But-
it's real weird and confusing, and you're
Yeah.
like, that's great, that's how the show should
But,
end.
I was just saying to
Just
that,
watch
like,
30
it's
Rock as
it's
well.
much harder to think of shows with good endings than bad endings. Because there is very few shows that just end just...
And then there's the
Lost.
mediocre endings.
Lost, I haven't seen it, but I know it ends
Oh.
terribly.
Yeah.
Like,
I
come
don't
on,
know,
guys.
Heroes.
That's so like that's such a K-drama thing to do.
Heroes. Have you guys seen
Heroes were like the line from
First-
Sheldon. Hero was great until it died off for the fans.
Do you know what's a show
Heroes.
with a really bad ending?
First season of Heroes,
Yeah.
some of the best TV I've ever seen. Second season of Heroes, some of the worst TV I've
This
ever
is why
seen.
you
Like,
Do you know
should drag
what's
things
a truly awful ending?
What?
Have you guys ever seen True Blood?
I'm not-
Yes.
So I've seen
On
that
the
whole
list.
thing, and I'm slightly ashamed because it's bad. It's so like the first season's pretty decent, but then it just gets quite bad. But it reaches the point, and you know there just comes a point in the writers are like, this is awful. Let's just go with it. But there was all these for the last episode. There's these fan things coming out. Like do you guys mind spoilers at all?
No, I probably won't.
So it's one of the
Yeah.
characters is a
It's one of
fairy.
those shows where I'm like, I'll probably watch it one
Yeah.
day, but I'll never
Yeah.
watch it.
One of the characters is a fairy, the main one, and then one of the guys is a vampire and he's got some disease, and she was going to use her fairy light to kill him, basically.
Okay.
But people were saying, like, she heard his thoughts, so it's like she was becoming human. So everyone was saying, oh, what if she uses the fairy light, and instead of killing him totally, it kills the vampire in him, and then they get together and stuff. And people were like, that'd be, it would kind of redeem the ending. No, she just killed him flat out, and then it just jumps to a few months later. Well, not a few months later, like a year later, I think, and she's pregnant, and all these things have somehow worked out, and everything's perfect, and she's met someone else, and it's like, no, just, it
I
doesn't,
think my
it's like you
own-
had a
Like the
chance
next
to
10
redeem
minutes,
it.
but yeah.
The only
Like-
thing I really liked about True Blood was probably like I loved who was Eric's maker again.
I know,
If it was just about him, it would be fucking brilliant.
I loved how they said each other's names, it was like, Suke, and
Oh, yeah.
Beale,
Suke.
and Beale. But like the guy who plays Bill though, like, because I'd never seen him in interviews before. He's got this southern accent on, and then I heard him, and he's so London.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, that's how you actually speak.
I love it. Have you know Cam from Modern Family, the like fat gay one?
Yes.
If you hear him in like real life, he's really manly. He's like, it's really fun doing the show. And
I
it's
just
like, on
love
the show, it's
that,
like,
and you're just like, wait, no, wait.
It's like,
Okay.
But yeah,
I think.
I think we've kind of done
I think
everything.
we've
So
like done 2 hours of.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
pretty sure we have actually done.
How
2
did
hours.
you enjoy the
How
podcast?
did you
It was very good.
Would you come
Would you
again?
come back?
Would you
I
like
probably, yeah, I think I would.
You'd
You'd have your own
I
extra fun
enjoyed
for a
this.
few hours. Yeah.
Because now we have like our
backup.
stand-in.
Yeah.
And our backups.
Because Callum, obviously with his work, he might not be able to make some weeks, so
And I might like.
Douglas might be a little
Away.
bitch and run away.
Because wait, okay. So when are we? Because like
23rd. Is that what
23rd.
you were gonna ask?
23rd. I was like, didn't finish the question. 23rd.
So,
that
I
is
think-
the answer to all. Hold on.
Christmas time, we
We
won't
shan't
have any
record.
podcasts. No,
Holidays we do not do.
we won't
Right.
be having any podcasts like around Christmas to New Year's. We've only got a few podcasts left this year, actually. It's
So
quite sad.
pretty much the last Wednesday before Christmas is the 23rd.
So we'll be finishing the
So
podcast.
do you want to do the
before-
23rd and then like?
I'm not here on the 23rd.
Okay, well, Rosemary, do you want to stand in for Sophie on the 23rd?
We'll do a special Christmas
I
last
think I
episode.
could actually, yeah.
Because I will still be here. on
I'd
the
like to
23rd.
do a special. I'd like to. If I'm here, I'll come and do it.
Well, I thought maybe we could do like
We could do it on
favorite
the.
movies of the year or something.
Do you know what we
like-
should do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
end of the
We
year
should do it
stuff,
on the
yeah.
Tuesday
We'll look
after
over the
college,
year.
and then we could get the whole group together to do a big special
I don't see
podcast.
why you needed to like say it in the middle of the podcast.
But then like, and then we could come back on.
It'll be after the New Year that we come back.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be Wednesday the 6th.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Cool. We are planning ahead.
we're planning
Yeah.
ahead, and we're giving you all
I
the
don't see
info.
why Douglas had to like do it on the podcast. But
Yeah.
okay.
No,
Nah,
but let
because
people know.
I want people to know because none of these have been uploaded yet.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Doesn't matter.
Are you guys gonna?
It doesn't
start
matter
that
because
today?
only
Yeah,
you
but
and I are the
it's-
two listeners. That's the joke here. Only Douglas and I are the two listeners.
like
Only
me and
you're
Callum
the
done
year.
together.
The end of the year thing won't come out until like the end
2008.
of January.
No wait.
Yeah.
It's like, hello,
I'm
this is
still
the end
working
of
on it.
2015.
Yeah.
Wait, but this is 2020.
Yes.
It's like, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like we're all just like
It's
full
like
of
Douglas
married
is
off.
dead. I'm living in a chair with some cats.
Do you want to
chair?
upload now?
I don't even have
Okay.
a house by this point. I've just got a chair.
Well then.
Anyway,
Okay,
so
so Rosemary, have you got anything to plug, like your Twitter? Or?
Yeah, no, I.
No, she's fine. She doesn't. She's just a stand-in. Why would she want her information?
No, maybe people.
No,
would be
shut up,
like, Rosemary is
Douglas. It's
interesting. I will go follow her on Twitter.
Well, maybe Rosemary doesn't want random strangers following her on Twitter.
What, 2 random strangers? It's
You-
you and me.
Only we listen to this show.
Right, well, Lana, where can people find you?
At my home.
I hate you.
Fuck you, no.
you can find me at Songstar1 on Tumblr and at official Sophie B on Twitter.
You can find my dead, rotting corpse never. I don't exist in this plane of human existence.
Unlock your phone so we can end the episode. You can find me at @DYanagas at Twitter, and also I write on comicbookmovie.com under the name Cape Cruvader. That's 2 capital C's and a capital V.
Okay.
Thank you, Rosemary, for being
Thank
on.
you
Thank you,
very much.
Rosemary. And
Thanks
Sophie,
for
do you want to
having me.
start signing off along?
Oh,
This is Sophie Ellen Buxton signing off.
this is Douglas Yanagas signing off.
Lana Nichols signing off.
Just say
Do
signing
it.
off.
Say
Do
your
it.
name and then
Shout
sign
your
it
name.
off.
Shout it.
Do it.
I don't
Do it.
know my name.
I'll take the straw and shove it in your eye.
Do it.
Oh,
Do it.
it's got
There's the
cold.
non-existent
It's
got
Callum
code
signing
deal.
off.
Say it. Say it. You go say your name. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it.
Rosemary signing off.
Say it. Do that. That's what you say.
Just do that.
Right, this is Rosemary signing off.
Yeah, you did it!